All right, and good afternoon here. What's the scoop? Episode 115. No scoop today. A sick Robert. Yes, my throat is like completely dead. I don't know what happened. I am ill. Somehow I managed through this. And Brandon, who still doesn't have his computer because of awful circumstances that he just told me. I don't know how much you want to talk about it on air, Brandon, but yikes, dude.
I don't know how much people will care, but basically, so I mean, it is what it is right now. But so anyway, just for a quick rundown, the last 2 weeks have been hell, trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with this laptop. For those of you that know,
Lion Coffee,
I
by
could
the
not
way.
get on
I
the
got
show a
my,
couple weeks
I got
ago.
my, I got my, I got my cup right now. I'm actually having coffee right now because I just woke up like 30 minutes ago because I'm that ill. But Lion Coffee, go get your coffee. I'm
Yeah.
having the toasted coconut flavor right now. It's fantastic. Anyway, continue, Brandon.
So for those of you that know, um, and for those in the know, I could not come on the show the last, like a couple weeks ago for the first time in a very long time because my laptop decided it didn't want to work. So then basically, long story short, we shipped the thing out to Lenovo for them to repair it because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. Their tech support sucks. So they
So
couldn't figure out what
does
was
so
wrong with
does
it.
every manufacturer on Earth. If you
Yeah.
know, you know.
And so basically they were like, okay, well, so today, after 2 weeks, I wake up and I get a bill from Lenovo for about $202 saying, hey, it's your laptop because that is in there was basically the factory put in the laptops is not the one that's in your laptop. And so basically it's some third party that we bought the laptop from. We bought it through Walmart, by the way. And so whoever sold that laptop to
Let's call it like it
Walmart,
is. Let's call it like it is. The seller sold you a refurbished laptop brand new and messed with an SSD that's brand new, which is
yep,
stupid
basically.
because
So
my
yeah,
Xbox, your Xbox and mine, we've had our Xboxes for what, 3-4 years probably. How long have you had your Series S? Like 2-3 years now?
yes, my Series S probably about 2 now.
Yeah. The SSD working fine. SSDs
Perfect.
work great. They last a good amount of
Yeah.
time. There's no need to replace an SSD ever.
On a three
Honestly.
month old laptop, mind you.
That's stupid.
So, or 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 what we assume is a 3-month-old laptop. Don't know what happened with the original SSD. So so I'm just pissed because I'm like this was only supposed to be like a 1 or 2 week kind of process, and we're 2 weeks in and we still have no answers. The good thing is Walmart is giving us, my grandfather's the one that bought it, giving us a full refund for the laptop, and then we're gonna just take that, go back to Lenovo and say, hey, well, go ahead and fix it. Do what you got to do. Put the right stuff in there that should be in there. But um, it's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like it's like the nightmare that I went through with that laptop, and I've only had it for 3 months. It was
Patrick's like, what are you
ridiculous.
watching to crash it? There's nothing wrong. They put an SSD that had like bad read writes. That's basically what it is. Because SSD has like this. SSD inherently has a slow, or I think it's a slow or really fast rewrite speed. I don't know. I think it's really fast
You would
because
know
it's,
more than me.
yeah. I think it's so basically SSD. It's not. He wasn't watching anything nefariously. And Albert, I see your question about reselling the laptop. Tell me more. But no, basically I think it's fast. I think that's what it is. Because basically the reason why SSDs are now the new standard is because of their speed. You're able to put stuff into the same amount of folder. Let's say a 1 terabyte hard drive. If you want to open, let's say, a video, let's say you want to open this file. Like if we take this section of the show and put it in a file and I send it to you and you have an HDD, you have a hard drive, it's slower. It's just it's gonna be slower for you to upload it. So it's all about the SSD is about speed and efficiency. Now, what that does though is eventually the SSD, the read write speed, because it's so fast, read write is basically what allows you to pop it up and watch it. it allows you to basically it has a shorter shelf life of honestly, it's not even that short. I think it's at least 10 to 15 years you treat it right. So it's not really that bad. But a hard drive can last you 50, 100 years to treat it right. That's not how SSDs work. But that's the idea. It's like, who cares how long the hard drive lasts? It's the idea, or the SSD lasts. It's the fact that your computer inherently runs faster because of the speed and how it processes information. Even the computer doesn't want to show equals highlights. But yeah, so I think it's a faster rewrite speed, which, by the way, this is my biggest issue with consoles right now, is we're like behind on so many of the technology, like video game stuff. We're behind by like 5 years or 6 years now on like, so SSDs was in like the previous generation of PCs. We just got it with PS5 and Xbox Series. And now we're just getting like the more like, I forgot the name of it. We're getting like more ray tracing. Ray tracing is like the new big thing. Ray tracing does work, but it enhances like a lot of power, especially on a Series X and a PS5. That's what PS5 Pro is right now. Is like this enhanced of ray tracing and stuff. But that was in PCs 5 years ago. So I hate that we're just like a generation behind of like what's going on in the PC space. But that's what happens though. If you're refurbishing a computer, if you're putting a new hard drive in, if the components don't align, it's going to die in like a month. Doesn't matter what you put in there. You can put the smallest little component in there. If that smallest component doesn't effectively fit in the laptop, what happens, honestly, is it overheats. I think what happened is that it overheated. Because remember how it's bullshit. Like
that's what I think happened. Because honestly, like because I remember when I a lot of times too, just in general, like not just overheated in terms of yeah, I know you're kidding, Patrick. I know it's funny, but it's not just in general like the overheating in terms of like frying the computer, like the hardware and whatnot, but just in general, my computer, like I would only use it for maybe an hour or two at a time to do the show and whatnot. And by the end of it, my computer would feel like a freaking like bomb. It would be so red hot.
Exactly.
Like, what the?
I'm like, yeah, and that's because they're putting in an SSD. Because like certain like yeah, you could technically put in like a like the ones that work. So your SanDisk, your Samsung. I forgot the other one that's really big. That's like the big. You can put those into any computer, but if you slot them in incorrectly,
it's gonna fry the computer.
It's gonna fry the computer. Because like you need to know how to put that damn thing in. And again, like you can look. You don't have to put proprietary components in a computer. You just have to put the right components in. That's the thing. And Left Twix is saying thoughts on the Trump stuff. I think it's funny. I think the Donald Trump thing with Jackson Dart is honestly just really funny. The reason why I think it's funny is because there's no reason for Jackson Dart on a like. Look, he can do what he wants. He can do what he wants, right? Like he can do what he wants. It's no big deal. But the thing is, like, if you're Abdul Carter, why say, oh, I thought this was AI? What is he doing? Just talk to him privately, and then you can handle the situation on your own. Now you're making it a big deal for no reason.
They both escalated it to the point where it's like, okay, man, it's like you guys are teammates. You gotta talk this stuff out. You know, like that. Like I don't get. Listen, I'm all for the Giants' downfall. If this leads to the Giants sucking this year, fantastic.
You're good.
but at the same time, Dart can do what he wants. You know that this is a free country. You can support whoever you want to support. And Abdul Carter has a right to his opinion, his own thoughts, and things like that.
But he doesn't need to just randomly put it on Twitter for no reason.
You don't put your teammate on blast. You just don't do that, and that's what he did. So, like, it's like, you know, you gotta just, and then, you know, then he goes on Twitter again later on and says, "Oh, we talked about it, we hashed it out." Stop talking about it in general. Stop. Just stop.
Well, okay, it's like you can all keep your narratives. Well, guess what? This is a narrative that's gonna follow you the entire damn season, whether you like it or not, because you're the one who tweeted it.
Like it's literally right as OTAs are starting up. It's right as we're gonna start getting into training camp soon. So it's like this isn't gonna go away. People are gonna think about this literally, like you said, the whole year. So
You're just
it's just
creating more drama for no reason. It's dumb. It's idiotic.
it
It's
really
so
is.
stupid. And again, I'm very confused on what a lot of these players do during Memorial Day weekend, because I guess now Memorial Day weekend you're off from OTAs. I don't know. Is that in
I
the
don't
new
know.
CBA? I don't know. I should have known that. But I also just thought it was funny because Dart wasn't enthusiastic at all. Like, if you watch the clip, he's like, "We welcome the press blood." It's like, dude, you have no enthusiasm. You're just there doing nothing. So that's part of what I think is funny about it is, like, I've never seen Dart is a very enthusiastic person when he plays football, but outside of it, he's just really not. So you saw the video of him, and it's not enthusiastic at all. It just it just looked flat to me. And like again, I as you, Brandon, have studied public speaking for a long time. You can tell
Yeah.
when someone just doesn't want to be there. He just did it because sure, it's the president. I'm gonna do it. But that was the part that kind of caught me. I was like, dude, you don't actually want to be here, and it's really clear. Like, have some like at least Dana White. You could say whatever you want about Dana White from a personal perspective, business perspective, whatever. When he introduces Donald Trump, he screams at the top of his
Oh
lungs
yeah.
like he's a Barbie doll or something. Like,
Or
and Jack starts like
him
it's like he,
and like if you got him and John Jones together to introduce Trump, John Jones would do backflips on the stage.
yeah.
But
So
like
it's like I just thought that was kind of funny. It's like, and then again, it's like, so I thought that was kind of the funniest part of the whole thing. What? And excuse my sniffling. I am pretty ill still, but
and
it
thank you.
is.
Also, just I have to shout it out because I'm glad that Barnes is here. So Barnes, let's go Yankees.
Yeah, yeah. You guys have been playing well this past week. It is the Royals, however, but it is good.
Yeah.
I just thought it was fun. I just thought the whole thing was funny. You're creating drama for no reason. Why do you need it? It's dumb.
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid. What baseball thing do you had today? Because I saw on your
Oh.
Twitter that you were watching some random. You're watching
Oh.
Blue Jays Orioles. Why are you watching your stupid division play baseball? Are you
might
that
as well
bored
watch
on a Thursday?
I might as well watch my division because there's no Yankees. So I might as well watch to see what I saw the Red Sox get killed by the Braves, so that was fantastic. So I was like, you know what? I'll just watch whatever else is on. Blue Jays Orioles was like the first thing I saw that was on. I was like, okay, I'll watch a division, sure. So it is the first inning. It's the bottom of the first. You have an error committed. Actually, the same guy I think committed the error in the inning. I think it was Akamoto at third base. So a ball goes off his glove, goes into the outfield. So you got the guy going from second to third. I forget who it was exactly. The runner going from second to third. The ball gets thrown into third. The ball beats him there, but Akamoto drops it. The ball's clearly on the ground. And so he's sliding into third base. Akamoto's got his glove on him without the ball. And you can see that he clearly doesn't have the ball because the ball is rolling away from his glove as he's trying to make the tag at third. That the ball that he never catches to begin with. And the umpire looks around the base like this and then calls the runner out. Are you blind? He never has the baseball. What? Oh my God. And it's Todd Tischner, by the way. Todd Tischner's not the best umpire in the world. But my God, man. This is Major League Baseball. The guy doesn't have the damn ball in his glove. How do you call the runner out? Like, thank God we have replay review these days, and they got the call correct.
But you still can't review like every little thing because there's rules about what you can and can't review, and it's
like the thing is too. Like, I'm even watching it live on the couch with my grandfather, and we're both going, "Oh, he's safe," and we're seeing like Tischner like wait, look around the bag, and then call him out. The ball is 5 feet away in the dirt. How the hell call a guy out when the ball's nowhere near the guy? He's not out. The freaking third baseman never catches the baseball to begin with. And you looked around the base. If you can see that he doesn't have the ball and you see the runner on the base, the runner is safe. That's how baseball works. It's so ridiculous. In Major League Baseball, we have grown men that can't make a call like that correctly. I've seen some bad calls in MLB history. That might be the worst one I've ever seen. I can't
Over
stand it.
CB Buckner and Angel Hernandez, who can't call
I mean,
anything.
listen. They've made some terrible calls like as umps, with balls and strikes. But that's one of the worst ones. And see, and Barnes is saying it too. Like I was ripping it at the time that it even happened. I was like, wait a minute, you called the runner out at third? Where? The guy never has the ball. The third baseman never has the ball. The ball literally hits the end of his glove, and then the ball just rolls away. And I'm like, okay, you can see that he never catches the ball, never has control of the ball, never even comes close to catching the ball, period. And the runner slides into third, safe. And you got Todd Tishner at third base looking and calling him out. How do you call someone out when the damn fielder doesn't have the baseball? And it's clear that he doesn't have it. Like, this is the major leagues. The fact that we need, like, everybody's like,
the fact that we need replay review for every stupid thing, like every other week.
Like that should have been instantaneous. Call the runner safe, and then we go second and third, one out. No, they took like 2 or 3 minutes to review it, which I don't know
5 minutes maybe.
Well, yeah, it might have even been 5. It was a long review for something that was so simple. And I'm like, guys, this is Major League Baseball. Why the hell are you screwing up a call that a 5-year-old can make? Like, this is ridiculous.
The two things that I'll say really quick. One is like the fact that we are stuck on this, and again, like we're watching the NBA playoffs, we're watching NHL, French Open's going on right now, so like my attention is elsewhere. But I'm keeping an eye on baseball with what's going on. The stuff that's happening with the officials or these umps, it is this thing where like everyone over this last 2 months, and tell me if I'm wrong, just from the perception that I'm seeing, watching all this other stuff and keeping track of it on the side. Yeah. I got it. Deal. That was funny. No, but basically, the thing that bugged me was like we're having the same conversation in week 1 that we're having in almost June. It's like, oh, these umps are gonna be better because of the challenges, and give them time, they're gonna figure it out, and then they're better now. It's like, in what way are they better now? Are you following like Umpire Auditor on like Instagram? Like every day there's like, oh, he missed this stupid strike call. He missed this thing at first base. It's like, okay, why is this still a talking point? We're about to hit the summer. Either the umps get it right or we just get rid of them and we automate the whole damn thing. Because there's no point if we're why are we like, and again, yes, rest in peace, Lemieux. Thank you, Nicole. That was sad to hear about an hour ago, 30 minutes ago. Stanley Cup champion called Lemieux. The thing that I don't understand, the thing that I'm frustrated with, is we're having these same conversation points about the umps in June, and all we're doing is just saying we're just going to ignore everything that they miss on a weekly basis. And I'm not trying to like specifically make sure they make every call correct, but the obvious stuff is still getting missed, and it takes forever to replay review the most basic crap. What are we doing? The NFL is better than you, and the NFL couldn't even get a ref CPA done until a month ago. So what are you talking about? Yeah, apples and oranges, I understand, but like, come on, guys.
You know what the worst thing I saw was,
yeah, pretty much.
Like,
I'm doing okay, Nick. Yeah, I'm quite ill. I feel sick, but still making it. All right, go.
So last was this was last week when I went to the Yankees game on Thursday, right? Last Thursday I went. They lost. They got shut out. Whatever. But there was a call in the game. It was about, I think it was the 7th inning. It was they called a hit by pitch. Basically, our pitcher Giovanni Cruz supposedly hit the batter, in the foot. It was kind of like a sweeping slider that kind of came down and hit him on the toe, and they call it hit by pitch. Here's the problem: I'm sitting in the bleachers. I'm
You're
far
sitting
away.
like 50 feet up or whatever the hell you're sitting.
So I'm sitting in the damn bleachers. Well, not bleachers. I'm right behind Aaron Judge. I'm in right field, sitting in right field.
Yeah.
I threw my hands up immediately when the umpire said, "Hey, hit by pitch, take first base." Me and like four of the guys in our section threw our hands up and we yelled out, What hit by pitch? The ball didn't touch him. If we can tell sitting in the damn outfield that it's not a hit by pitch, what the hell is the umpire behind home plate doing? What are you looking at?
He's not shifting.
Because
you gotta shift.
Because, like, dude, it blew my mind. I'm like, and then the thing is, they showed that, Aaron Boone goes like this, and, with the head to put the headset on and to challenge it. We see on the big board that the ball didn't touch him. And so we're all laughing at the big board because we're like, wow, how blind is that umpire? Because the ball didn't even come close to hitting the guy in the foot. And on top of that, the guy is not even selling the fact that he supposedly got hit. Like, usually if it's close, you might sell it and shake your foot and whatever. He didn't do any of that. The ball clearly never hit him. I'm like, if I can tell in the moment, sitting in right field, that, however many, 400 feet away, that the ball doesn't hit the damn batter, why can't the home plate umpire do that? How blind are you? How dumb, deaf, and blind are you? Like, oh
Zeal,
my
you're
God,
asking about, are you asking about the Savannah Bananas? I'll be honest. Am I in the minority for saying I don't like the Savannah Bananas? I respect what they do.
Because they're fun.
I don't like it. And I respect what they do. I respect what they've done for the game. But I hate to put it this way because I like WWE and AEW. It feels like that to me. It feels like the baseball version of WWE where it's like we're gonna stop the game in the. Well, what I mean is like, okay, we're gonna stop the game to do this like random TikTok dance move just because little kids like it. Like and by the way, the other aspect of it that I don't like is ESPN, Warner Bros. With True TV. And who else? I think CW also. So I think CW. I think Scripps bought into it, but I think primarily it's True TV and ESPN. They spent like a bunch of money for their rights. WWF, yes, we'll do some WWE stuff later, but
yeah.
But basically, like they spent a lot of money for their rights, and you could still watch it on YouTube for free. So it's like you're spending money for rights you don't need to spend money on. And like ESPN is promoting the literal balls out of the Savannah Bananas. And you know what? I'm going to be 100% honest with you. They're promoting the Savannah Bananas more than Major League Baseball right now. And it is ridiculous. It is like, and that's kind of like my biggest problem right now is like, we're going to talk about, I asked Brandon the other day, I was like, I want to talk about the enhanced games today. I want to talk about what's going on with tennis right now because they're in a really precarious position. We'll talk about some WWE stuff in a bit. The reason why I want to talk about those things is because I'm seeing nothing about this stuff that's going on in the sports world. This like really interesting and engaging stuff. ESPN's not talking about any of it. Yeah. They're just not. Yeah. Like they're just not. They're like the amount of things. And I respect what ESPN does. I respect what all these major networks do. And this is going on a tirade outside the Bananas. But the biggest issue I have right now about like ESPN in particular is how blind they are to like the wider sports world. Like they only care about the sports that they have rights to. Mm-hmm. That's it. They won't like they cover the UFC when they had them, and then the minute it goes to CBS, oh, we don't care anymore. Yeah. What? But I don't like if you're gonna call yourself the worldwide leader, you need to cover it. You need to cover this stuff that matters to people. You can't just cover the only things that you have rights to. And if Nikki's still here, and let's be honest, Brandon, let's have a genuine conversation about this. ESPN ain't even promoting hockey that well right now either, and they own they own the rights to it. So what are we doing here? It's so bad. It is so bad. It is so awful, and I don't understand why we're doing this and why the worldwide leader can't just cover things. The enhanced games is one of the biggest stories this past weekend in sports. We'll get to it later in the show. And ESPN's like, oh, we're not going to cover it because they're on roids and we don't want to. That's the entire point. That's the entire point, is that they're on roids and it's an interesting story. And then the smaller creators are taking it and saying, hey, this is a real story that we need to talk about. And nobody's talking. Nobody on ESPN is going to talk about it. And then, like, you see, like, and as much as I respect Mike Greenberg and all those guys on Get Up, they have Cody Rhodes on this morning, or I think it was this morning and yesterday. And it's just pointless conversation. Greedy doesn't know what's happening in WWE right now. What are we doing? Like, it's unbelievable. It's unfathomable to me that we're not covering the stuff that matters, especially in a period where the NFL is not driving conversation. The NBA is driving a lot of conversation right now. ESPN just turns into NBA TV for 2 months for no reason. No reason. I don't understand this.
There's no reason right now, especially while both playoffs are going on, there's no reason why the NBA should be getting 90% of the coverage and the NHL is getting 10%. There's no reason.
I think they're getting like 2%. They're not getting anything.
It might even be less. Yeah, actually, ESPN's more focused now on OTAs than they are on hockey and the NHL.
And I don't care. And look, we'll talk about some of the OTA stuff. Like, I'm interested in talking about what's happening with Arizona because I think, isn't Josh Sweat also having a contract dispute even a year after he signed his contract?
He might want. I heard he wants out. So
yeah. So there's that. But again, as much as I want to talk about that, it's May 28th.
Yeah.
The World Cup's in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Champions League final is on Saturday. What are we talking about here? We're wasting so much time talking about NFL OTAs. We're just forcing these things that don't matter.
Yeah.
Like, what here? I don't understand.
It's like
I don't get it. I don't get it, man.
It's like, we've got 3 major sports that are good. Like, the MLB is coming into the hottest part of the year, quite literally summer. We're getting into the good part of the year for baseball. We have the NHL playoffs, we have the NBA playoffs, and it's like, okay, those are the 3 that should get the most attention because they're the ones that are on right now. And then everything else should be it should be distributed evenly. So the big 3 right now are baseball, basketball, hockey.
Right.
Those 3 should be even. Or hell, honestly, baseball and hockey should actually have in baseball because baseball we're only in May. Those 2 are in the playoffs, so those 2 should be getting a lot of coverage.
Baseball, and then guess what? The World Cup is next week. So the World Cup is next week. What's going on right now? Sinner just lost this morning. Yannick Sinner just lost. Is ESPN going to talk about one of the biggest upsets in modern history? No. They talk about it for 5 seconds. Should. 5 seconds. They'll talk about it for 5 seconds, and that's it. Like, what are we doing here, man?
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest tennis fan, but Yannick Sinner losing was a big freaking deal today. It's a huge deal. It's one of the biggest upsets, not only in the history of tennis, in the history of sports in general. We thought Yannick Sinner were going to run with the whole. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And then, but again, this is what ESPN doesn't understand. It gives small creators so much leeway to cover actual important stuff that ESPN just won't touch. I don't, and this is not. Excuse me. This is not just ESPN. I think. Excuse me. This is happening across the sports landscape. The NFL is having this whole thing with Diana Orsini thing in the background. The Jackson Dart thing that we just talked about. ESPN doesn't want to cover it. You know why? Because they own a 10% stake in the NFL. So they don't want to touch this stuff. And the people on ESPN who are doing proper reporting about this are getting pushed to the back.
Yeah.
Well, it's unbelievable. It's unfathomable that we're doing this.
This is why it started. It started about 10-ish years ago, like right around the time that social media really boomed. Everybody kept saying, all that ESPN does is push their own narratives and agendas. And it's true. They do. They push whatever they have an interest in, not what the people have an interest in, which was the original intention of ESPN.
But I think more specifically, it's about what rights do they have. It's about what rights do they have. We
Yeah.
don't have that many MLB rights. Okay, we'll promote Savannah Bananas. And again, Savannah Bananas is fun, but it ain't Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
We don't have World Cup rights. Okay, so we'll just do one segment with Roger Bennett, who's amazing, and have Stephen A. Smith talk about something he knows nothing about. Why? Why? What? Why? What's the point? We're putting Roger Bennett, one of the best right now in American soccer, to talk about international soccer. We're putting him on first take to do what? To do what? It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't understand. It's ridiculous. Anyway, wanted to talk about the White Sox player, did we? Who's this? Who's this kid?
I forget. Scoop knows more about him than I do, but I forget his name. I can actually look it up real quick. Let me just look it up real quick because I almost forgot, because I know we wanted to talk about him, and I could not.
My question to you is, like, how good are the White Sox actually playing? Like, are they interesting baseball just because of the players that they have, or are they playing good ball?
That's well. First, real quick, that's his name. Is Riku Nishida? That's his name. He's just super small. He's 5'6". But at 5'6", he's got a cannon for an arm in the outfield, and he actually gunned down a runner yesterday. In his debut. The White Sox aren't good. The White Sox are just fun because they finally have like basically 2 or 3 players now that are like young that they can actually believe in going forward, but they're not good, not by any means. But when you've got Murakami in the home run chase right now, and he's leading the AL, or no, I think Jordan might be leading the AL now, Jordan Alvarez. But you got Murakami right up there with Judge and Alvarez in the AL home run race. You've got now Nishida, who's exciting because the thing is he's not the biggest guy, but apparently they called him an electric factory because the guy is nothing but just good vibes. Like he's a fun player, and it's like most, and not to sound weird, but when most Japanese players come over, it's hard for them to adapt to the U.S. and whatnot. But he's giving full-on interviews. They asked him yesterday. And the thing is, he usually answers his questions in English, which is interesting because a lot of Japanese players, it takes a while for them to adjust to that. But
or they don't want to say the wrong thing, so they have an interpreter. And yeah.
They said, but they said something. I forget the exact question the reporter said, but the reporter said to them, they said, would you say that throw you made in right field was a lot like, would you model it after Ichiro? And he was like, no. He's like, he basically said, don't ever compare me to Ichiro. He's like, I don't have the the right to claim that yet. He's like, nope, don't compare me. But he was like laughing about it too. He was like, no. He looked at the reporter like sideways. He was like this. It's like, no.
But here's the thing: it is a fair question. Like it's not a negative question by any means.
Yeah, but I'm like, man, like you're gonna say that one of his throws from right field compares to Ichiro. Like that's interesting. Like that. And he was like taken aback by it. So it was cool to see that, like, a lot of those guys, obviously they have respect for the players that came before them, and he's no different. But he's an exciting kid. He's an exciting kid to watch. And the thing is, he's 5'6", he's small. So it's like you don't see players, that height, like that kind of build in the MLB. So it's just fun the White Sox aren't good. They're just fun. And the thing is that, especially with those two now kind of leading the youth movement for that organization, it's, it's going to be fun baseball to watch. And the thing is, I get to watch them next month when I go to the game because I'm going to go see Yankees White Sox in June at the stadium. So I get to watch, Murakami go against Judge, home run for home run, possibly. I get to see Nishida in right. So I get to see Judge in right and Nishida in right. So we'll see how that goes. But that's all I want to talk about, is just how impressive or just how kind of well-mannered he is, but also how impressive he's looked at, like in his debut. Like just, hey man, it's like, we talk about players who make their debuts, and if they go like, 1 for 4, and they steal a base, maybe that's a good debut, whatever. But like, it's not so much the hitting; it's the great play he made in right, and just the fact that the guy he just gives off a real positive vibe that the White Sox haven't had in a very long time. So
Right.
it's good to see that, honestly.
Yeah, I haven't done a ton of research on the cap number, Jody, and the reason why I haven't, and I'll be honest with you, Brandon, is because it's gonna change like in a month.
Yeah,
Like this offer is gonna get countered anyway, and I'll be honest, like this is why we've said for a year now on this show. I would argue it's been a year, but more like 6 months. That the problem with this whole thing with the cap, like the players are not gonna want a salary cap, so we're just gonna go back
yeah.
and forth, and the numbers gonna change. So it's like there's one proposal. I can't debate a proposal. I really can't because it's gonna change next month, honestly. And that's how I feel about it. Do you feel the same way?
It's going to change. And Scoop and I kind of alluded to that at the end of last night's show. We said that, this is the first offer on the table now, the first proposal on the table now, but literally it's going to get countered in the next 24 hours. And we're going to go back and forth, and we're finally going to land somewhere else entirely by the whole end of this. So
Right.
it's, we just talked about it. We just talked about it from the standpoint of it's the preliminary proposal. Basically, like it's nothing. It's going to get countered anyway. So it's interesting to see what was brought forth by the Players Association, but the MLB is going to come back and with their own stuff. So it's nothing to kind of get worked up over now. Um, but and so both sides, we still have to wait. We're still going to wait a long way out for this because even Scoop said it. He's like, it's not so much of them being far apart on where they want to be, like to meet, to kind of meet in the middle. It's more so just nitpicking, dollars and cents about all these different parts of the deal and whatnot. So it's going to take a little bit before both sides are kind of comfortable with that. And then and Jody, to answer that question, I mean, we're basically going to get a strike. I don't see how we
It's not a
wouldn't.
strike. It's a lockdown.
Well, yeah, it's basically
Through a
it's a full on
strike.
lockdown. It's not even a strike. Yeah. So like I said to Scoop, I said, I'm surprised that I'm shocked that they're going to negotiate that long to the point that we get to that lockout and whatnot. But because I know how usually these things get resolved a little bit quicker than what we're the timeline that we're thinking for this specific
Yeah.
lockout. But and listen, it still could happen. Things could happen where they could just get a deal done quickly. We're not saying that, but just from everything that we've been hearing the last few months about this, it just seems like
The
that's what's
Pandora's
happening.
box of money that the owners have to save money,
Yeah,
basically
it just seems that that's the way it's
billions
going.
of dollars.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it just seems that we're heading to that lockout, and that's what sucks because baseball. I would be shocked if it didn't kill some of baseball's momentum that they built up in the last couple of years. Some great World Series, games, playoffs, getting an increase in ratings and viewership. Everybody kind of getting excited about baseball again. So it would stink to tank the game and put it in a lockout, and we get a lockout shortened season next year, and then of course it's gonna because of the lockout shortened season, a lot of the players are not gonna pick up where they left off this year because you're gonna have to get yourself into game shape at that point later on in the year, and they're not used to that, so it's gonna be a lot of stuff to unpack. I hope we don't get to that lockout, but it just seems like that's where we're headed. So.
Yeah. You want to play the game I play with Scoop every? It's an MLB based game. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
We're gonna grade the weekend national TV schedule for Major League Baseball because I'm making this point that the national TV schedule is terrible. All right,
Yeah.
Here's our national TV schedule. Okay, well we're starting from Friday to Sunday, so tomorrow until the weekend. Phillies Dodgers, Friday night Apple TV.
Good. I like that one.
That's the only Apple TV game this week. Usually there's two, but there's only one this week. Saturday, what is the FS1 game? Royals Rangers FS1.
Oh God. Yeah.
The FS1 games are terrible. I don't know why we're doing this.
God.
Fox, depending on your local area, Cubs Cards or Braves Reds.
That's not terrible.
It could be worse.
It could be worse, but it's not great. It's not great, but it's not the worst thing I ever heard. It's not like you're telling me that we're watching freaking, Orioles Twins, and I'm like, oh, good God, like,
Speaking of that, Peacock, NBCSN Sunday leadoff, Blue Jays Orioles Saturday or
okay,
Sunday.
yeah, that's garbage. I mean, it's the AL East, so I'm invested, but that's garbage.
Sunday.
That's garbage.
Yes, Sunday leadoff, Blue Jays Orioles, and then finally we get 13 straight weeks of Sunday Night Baseball on proper regular NBC. That starts with Cubs Cardinals.
That's good. I mean, you also got to realize that that's a rivalry, so that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's not a bad schedule. It was worse 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like that's like if I had to grade that, that's a C+ for me. It's okay.
Yeah, I go like C+, C-.
Yeah.
Other random things. Do you want to random stuff? Did you hear what Trump said yesterday? Promise this is not political. I just thought it was funny. Did you see it?
No.
He said he's gonna go to an MSG playoff game.
Oh
or
yeah, I heard
MSG
somebody
finals
put that.
game.
Yeah, I saw somebody put that in the chat. Yeah.
Why? My problem is not that he's going. My problem is why are we making Secret Service go to a game at MSG, a finals game? We want to put more strain on these security guards already.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. It's like this is gonna end up being like like a world. This is like a world event because it's the Knicks, it's MSG, it's Donald Trump, it's hoping, praying that somebody doesn't do something crazy like because you never know these days. So like, it's like it. Like, well, I understand him wanting to go, and I mean honestly, every
he didn't
sporting
even
event
go. He didn't even go to John Jr.'s wedding, but he's going to a Knicks playoff game. Thirsty for attention much?
He's not gonna go to his wedding. That's a little bit much.
His son's wedding? His son's wedding.
Oh, his son. I thought you said John. I thought you said John Jones. I was like, whoa.
No. Don Jr.'s wedding he skipped, but he's going to a Knicks game because he said he needs to work. He needs to keep an eye on the Iran war. So I'm not going. He didn't go, but he's going to a Knicks game.
I was going to keep an eye on the war from courtside. Well, not courtside, but from the Knicks game.
What is this? I made this claim. Like, here's my biggest Donald Trump thing. I've never seen a president treat the presidency like a reality TV show. I've never I'll be honest. If you look at this is non-political, okay? I'm not throwing political stuff in here. I kind of am, but just look at it from an outside perspective. Think about it if you're okay, let's say you're Australian, okay? How do you think Australians view what's going on in America right now? It's just a reality TV show. They're just laughing. What? You're not going to go to your son's wedding, but you're going to go to MSG? What are we doing?
It's like
what?
And it's like,
what are we doing?
It's not just it doesn't just go for him. It goes for any president. It's like when you have so many problems in America, like we do, and across the world for that matter. Why? I understand that there are people too that they want to do things on their own time, but it's like also you are the president of the United States. You have to realize there are more important things.
It's a huge responsibility.
And can you imagine? Could you imagine the comment section if the Knicks lose that game at MSG with him in attendance? Can you imagine what that?
Him and the mayor of New York, who notoriously have problems, in the same building, front row.
It literally is a reality TV show unfolding right in front of our face. So it's like I can just see the
we're treating world problems as reality TV shows. Let's just be straight up here.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. And then by the way, guess what's happening in 2 weeks? You know what's happening? UFC White House card. They're just starting to build it right now. Bro. Jody, I have no idea. I have no idea at the moment what the for or capture. But again, I am as excited as I am for the White House card just to see what it's like and all this stuff. I'm scared someone's gonna do something stupid at the event. Like some idiot's gonna do something stupid. I've never been more scared in my life.
You're gonna need what? You're gonna need the National Guard. You're gonna need SWAT. You're gonna need the Secret Service. You're gonna need military.
I've never been
So
more
much
scared
more.
in my life for a sporting event. It's such a bad idea. It's such a bad idea. As much as I'm excited for it, it's a bad idea. Everything about it's a bad idea.
Yeah,
It's
man, I mean, like it doesn't matter who you are in this world. Like, eh, eh, sports is crazy right now for multiple reasons. And again, you saw me. Both of us got frustrated earlier in the show. Politics is crazy. World events are crazy. Everything.
oh yeah, but
That's
let's merge
wrapped
them
into.
together for 2 weeks. What are we doing?
Oh, and then right after the White House card, World Cup. Oh my God, I can't wait for the hell that's going to ensue in my. I don't care other states. I don't care about your problems. I care about mine and my area.
You don't care about my problems. Guess what? $560 to go on a boat and watch a World Cup game? What?
Ridiculous.
What?
It's ridiculous.
It's so stupid.
Like,
By the way, I am going. By the way, I am planning, depending on how my sickness unfolds, I should be fine by the time World Cup rolls around. I'm going to go to one of my local ports, not Seattle. I'm not a crazy person, but like one of my other local ones, just to see what that is like.
Yeah.
Just to see what that if it's worth it, if it's hell. I'm not going to go during a U.S. game because I think the only ones at one of our local ports is the Mexico games and the U.S. games. I'm going to go to one of the Mexico games because the U.S. games sound like hell in a handbasket. Even the Mexico games sound like hell in a handbasket. But you know what? I want to celebrate with my wonderful Mexicans if they win 5-0. Hell yeah!
Well,
I'll go and do that. Absolutely, I'll go and do that.
Like just wait. Like I said, Ferry Street in Newark is not a designated kind of World Cup zone. It's not a designated World Cup area, but it's Portugal. The games are the final. The games and the final are happening right here, and Newark is the Portuguese capital of the United States, basically. So, at least it used to be, but there's still a big Portuguese congregation there. I cannot imagine when that World Cup starts and when Portugal plays, what Ferry Street is going to look. Ferry Street is going to turn into the mother of all messes. It's going to literally be absolute. I mean, listen, I'm there for it. I'll be I might celebrate with my fellow pork chops. Why not? But at the same time, and yeah, I can say that. I know it's a derogatory term, but I am one, so I can say it. I even said to one of my buddies who's Colombian, because Portugal and Colombia play each other in the group stage, that game probably won't matter much. I was like, yo, you want to watch the game like at one of each other's houses, like when the game comes on? He's like, yeah, hell yeah, I'm down. I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm like, we are not going to go to the bar. We are not going to go to a World Cup zone. None of that kind of crap, because the hell and the aggravation it is to get there and to watch it there in those places.
I just want to see one of my smaller ports basically and what that is like, because if it's awful, I don't think it's going to be bad, because the first match here the first World Cup match is Mexico South Africa at a noon on a Thursday. I know it's going to be packed, but it won't be that bad, will it? It can't be that bad at noon on a random port that's not Seattle. There's no way.
I dare, because I know this has been a joke, but I know some Europeans and some foreigners are taking this seriously. They're so determined to walk to MetLife for this stuff. I'm like, here's your problem.
Did you see The Guardian? Did you see The Guardian did a whole thing about what it's like to walk to MetLife? And they're like, dude, there's no walkways ever.
Because New Jersey isn't.
It's not
New Jersey is
walkable.
90% highway. It's not walkable. New Jersey is 90% highway. I've said this. I live here. New Jersey is 90% highway. If some if some Europeans or some foreigners, that's what I meant to say, want to try to walk there, good luck playing a damn game of Frogger on Route 3, 17, and 46.
I just want to throw
swear.
this out there, okay? So the viewing party that they're gonna have at the waterfront at my pier, so it's like the walkway by the pier
Yeah.
here in Seattle. I'm sorry, $52. This is not even including tax to watch Brazil and Monaco at a pier on a boat. Who cares? What?
Yeah.
Why? And then
No
there's
way.
like a VIP entrance for $352. It's not even including the 17% tax. It's dumb. It's dumb. Like I understand. What?
Is our area on there?
This is just Seattle. I'll look up yours. What is your primary one?
I think from what I have heard, I think it's Jersey City. I think it's Liberty State Park. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'll look up because, like, by the way, but that's what's stupid to me, right? What's dumb to me about this whole thing before we actually go through the games themselves and do predictions. What bothers me the most about this is, like, you go to your downtown area and it's like $50, right? And you go to like I'm going to like a random, port that's close by or I guess the bus ride is about an hour, but really it's about 20, 30 minutes, and it's free. You just pay for beer. Sure, I'll pay for beer. Like, what are we doing here?
I really
why is it just because it's a damn like your large scale one got canceled because they said it was too expensive.
Because it is, yes.
Yeah, so your big one did get canceled. It says more information coming soon, but I think your big one got canceled, which is good because it was stupid.
Weren't they putting one in New York too? There was one in New York.
I think that's the one they got canceled. I think that's the one that got canceled.
Because they have Liberty State Park. They have, I think, the one in Newark by the Rock. They've got
at least yours is like $10. Why is mine 52?
Yeah,
just
wait a minute.
It's on a water?
Maybe that's why it's a different kind of experience. Maybe that's why. I guess.
I don't
know.
Like imagine.
Oh my God, in Harrison. Oh Lord.
This is not even tickets. You have DJ Snake, Kids Bop.
I guess
is doing a performance. Kids Bop. We need Kids Bop. Kids Bop. Really, man. Okay, let's see how nasty your tickets are. So this is like a Sports Illustrated promotional event. I don't know if this is the main one. By the way, it's France versus Senegal. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Who cares, man?
For those that don't know, Sports Illustrated Stadium, if you're not that much of a soccer fan, that's where the Red Bulls play. That's Red Bull Stadium.
Right. How many tickets? All right, let's do $75 including fees. Bro.
Welcome to New Jersey.
$75 including fees.
Yeah, well,
Out of here.
Welcome to New Jersey, where everything is expensive as hell.
This is just to sit there and watch it on a giant TV with DJ Snake. Yeah, man. Okay. All right, you want to go through the actual matches?
I'm almost afraid to.
I was like, we should have done this next week because I know all the rosters have been showing up. I was like, screw it, let's do it anyway. Because Champions League, what are you doing? PSG, Arsenal. What's your prediction? What do you have for Saturday. I'm going 3-1 PSG win. I think PSG just show a lot more physicality, get the ball down the pitch, and score a bunch of goals.
I almost want to go one more and say PSG, because the thing is, PSG is just a different breed.
Yeah.
But I think that listen, and when it comes to games like that, and of course when it comes down to a final like that, I definitely think that both teams are going to kind of play up a little bit. I think Arsenal's going to play up to what more so than what we expect. So I'm going to say I'm still going to say PSG, but I'm going to say 2-1 PSG.
Okay, that's fair. I'm excited. Obviously being Hungarian, it's in Budapest. You know what's crazy? It's a noon start Eastern. It's a
That's
really
weird.
early start because it's in Budapest, so it's a 6 o'clock Budapest start. And that's on CBS on Saturday. Highly recommend you watch. It should be fun. Unless Arsenal just pass the ball like idiots the whole game. But anyway, regardless. Okay, here we go. Let's go through the group stage. I know ESPN's a little buggy right now, but it's fine. We're doing this on. You guys can also do this as well. ESPN Group Stage Challenge, probably the best one to use. Let's go through our picks here. Let's do this. Going through all the groups, who gets through for the World Cup? Let's get this done here. Group A is Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and Czechia. I think this is pretty easy. I think Mexico wins the group fairly easily. I look at that Mexico-South Africa matchup, that first one, and I'm excited for that matchup, but I also don't really have much about it because South Africa's just not what they used to be in terms of like talent, I guess. Yeah. What's the most interesting matchup in this group for you? Is there anything that kind of hits the nail on the head? What do you have?
I kind of want to think that Czechia is gonna make a run, but just because it just seems like that they just kind of they have that pesky, I guess, kind of feel to them. But yeah, I'm with you that Mexico should win that group pretty easy.
We're gonna say that about a lot of groups here. There's some really bad groups. This World Cup is so oversaturated. Half the games are gonna be so unwatchable, I swear.
Yeah, honestly, to me, it's like I really don't care who ends up because there's always like the top two go through kind of thing, and I'm like, okay.
Well, and then we have the third, and then we have the third place. So whatever the third place is again.
Yeah, depending on where you fall, that it's like 2 third place teams go through. But still, I don't really care too much about this group because I'm just like, this is Mexico all the way. I think everybody else is just gonna get killed right after. So it's just, I don't really care too much. I think Mexico is just gonna blow it away.
Yeah. Again, ESPN's being a little buggy here, so I'm gonna quickly fix this. Group B, you got Canada, who I don't think they've announced their roster yet. Some teams haven't announced their roster. Bosnia, Qatar, and Switzerland. I feel really bad for Bosnia here. This is a sucky group for Bosnia to be in.
Yeah.
Because Qatar didn't play terrible 2022 in their home turf. I mean, Bosnia and Canada, we've seen that, or we've seen what Bosnia has done in CONCACAF in the Gold Cup last year. This is such a sucky group for Bosnia to be in. There's not much here that I can look at and say, like, oh, I think Qatar maybe gets a point somewhere, but that's about it, honestly.
The Swiss probably win this group.
I'm going to go bold here. I think Canada wins this group.
Wow.
I think Canada has shown a huge bit of promise. I think Canada-Switzerland is one of the better games in the group, but I think Canada wins that. I actually think Canada wins this group. I think what Jesse Marsh has done with that group we've talked about this in private the last, I think, probably 6 years, or at least since we've known each other, how impressive Canada has been in terms of building a proper soccer program. Saying they're better than Switzerland's a little bold, but if you watch how they played just in CONCACAF, I've been so impressed with Canada. I think Canada gets out. That's my bold prediction here. I think it's Canada, Switzerland. I think you have Qatar here, and then I think Bosnia's in hell here. I think Qatar maybe gets a point lucky, but it's going to be tough. So you're going.
Yeah, I would. For me, it's the Swiss, but I think that even if they don't win that group, they'll still get through being the second place team. So but for me, I can't put anything past them. I know Canada's been better in recent years, but just when I think of soccer countries, I will automatically think of Switzerland first, and then Canada's way down the list. So I'm just like, Canada could surprise people. Canada could probably win the group, but I think Switzerland is going to win that group.
Yeah, are you on Qatar and then Bosnia on the rear here?
It's not a fun group for either one of those two teams. I think that the Swiss and then the Canadians are just going to beat the crap out of them more or less. But
For Group A, are you going? What are you going? So Mexico, South Korea, Czechia, and South Africa. What's your order here?
probably Mexico, Czechia, South Africa, and then South Korea.
Oh, that's bold. I like it. I like a little bit of boldness there.
Yeah.
Group C. This group to me is just hilarious. This group is, as ESPN's bugging. Hold on. This group to me is hilarious. So you got Brazil, you got Monaco, or Morocco, excuse me, who's been a lot better of late. Then Haiti and Scotland. This is hell. This group to me is hilarious. I like Morocco, but Brazil's gonna smack everybody here.
Yeah.
This is nothing. And and I'll put Scotland at third. I might put them, making it through, but like Morocco's not Brazil. Even if Morocco's been playing good ball, they're not Brazil. Like, this is ridiculous.
No way.
And then I'm sorry, Haiti, but this is an ugly run for you guys.
Yeah, that's exactly how I'd have the group the same exact way. So
yeah, I don't think that's a discussion. All right, here we go. This is where we need to have debate here, because I don't know what to do with the U.S. I really don't know what to do, because so USA, Paraguay, Turkey, and Australia. Listen, I look at group, and everyone, again, we've talked about last week. Everyone's saying this group is easy for the U.S. need to get their eyes checked, because this group is brutal for the U.S. And I'm, you know what? I'm going to do it. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm going to be a dick, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. Paraguay goes first. Turkey goes second. Australia goes third. U.S. doesn't make it through.
Wow.
I don't think they make it through. I don't see how they don't struggle. I look at this group and I'm like, okay, Paraguay we've struggled with for years. Turkey is better than people think they are compared to the U.S. And honestly, I think Australia is better. Tell me honestly, when you look at the roster that Pochettino's put out, and again, it's not entirely his fault, do you see any benefit to that roster? I mean, you saw it. I said it to you. The roster's nothing.
Yeah.
Your best player's Pulisic. He was terrible at AC Milan the last year, mostly because of injury. What is that roster compared to these three? Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah. And the thing is, the U.S. just hasn't put out a great roster in a very, very long time. And this might be one of the worst ones. This is the worst one yet. So, I mean,
so people have literally said this is the best roster we've ever put out. Better than 2002?
No.
Better than 2010? Not even close.
Absolutely not. If you think so, you're smoking something. Smoking some real good stuff. But
I'm gonna put Turkey above. Actually, this is what I'm gonna do. But
I would still put Paraguay first, and then Turkey, and I'd put the U.S. third. But I think that they'd be one of the third place teams that doesn't get through, and then I'd put Australia.
Because that's my thing, though. When I look at this, when I look at these four, I genuinely look at it and I'm like, the U.S. could draw with every single one of them. They could just finish with 3 points.
Yeah.
And honestly, that feels like the best case scenario. Am I crazy?
No.
Tell me, I'm not crazy.
I mean, because how many times have we watched the U.S. game where they have faced a quote unquote inferior opponent, and the games have finished 0-0, 1-1, 1-0.
2-1,
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
like
This is what this group looks like to me.
yeah,
And I look at every piece of that roster that got announced, see nothing of any hope.
yeah.
Pulisic can't do anything by himself, and he's going to have to. And defensively, this roster looks garbage. The only good thing about this roster, I think our goalkeeping is actually really good.
By the
Other than
way,
that, I'm not interested.
your goalkeeper is from where?
New Jersey, one of them. One of them. I think it's one of the best. This is the best two goalkeepers we've had in net since Howard. Since Tim Howard.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that. But I don't think it's going to make a difference if our defense can't do anything. It's not going to make a difference.
It doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what goalie you could have Jesus Christ himself in net, and it still it's not going to stop the U.S. defense from breaking down and giving up a 2-on-1 or 3-on-1 or 3-on-2 and them scoring a goal. It's not going to make a difference.
The other thing I'm going to say that bothers me is, and I respect Roger Bennett. I respect the guys who are saying this. Like, it's a national tragedy if we don't make it out the group, dude. It's been a national tragedy since we played you, man. Since we got roasted by Portugal 2 months ago. What are you talking about? Like, it's unbelievable. So you're going,
and that wasn't even our B team. That was our B- team. We still smacked you guys.
So you're going Turkey. You're going Paraguay, Turkey, USA, Australia.
Yeah, that's my order.
Yeah. Do you need the link sent to you so you can do this?
I mean, the only thing is, I would love that, but here's the problem: I'm on my phone, so if I switch, I
okay,
can't.
I'll have you do it after then. Okay, here's another fun one. The smallest in the history of the World Cup, Curacao. Welcome to the World Cup, and welcome to a group with Germany in it. Oh my God. By the way, Germany Curacao, I think, is like the second or third game to open the World Cup. I could not think of a worse game to open a weekend of a World Cup. But whatever.
Curacao. Oh no.
Oh God. See what I mean by this is oversaturated as hell. Oh my God.
Germany is moving on, and I don't care about the rest of them. So
I'm gonna go Germany, Ecuador. You know what? Screw it. Yeah, I'll do that. Germany, Ecuador, Ivory Coast, and Curacao. Sorry, Curacao.
Yeah, that's about
it. Sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. This is a more fun group would look on paper. We got Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. Tunisia's probably a lot, but Tunisia could get a point. Sweden with Victor Gyökeres, who, of course, congrats to him winning the Premier League with Arsenal. I really love what Gyökeres has done with Sweden. Like, if you watch, I don't know how much you watched of the European qualifiers, but he's nasty. Like, he's played some really good ball. But I think we'll go. I think I'm going Netherlands, Japan. I think Sweden goes through as a 3, and I think 2 up the rear. I think Sweden gets through, though. I think Sweden gets through.
Yeah, I think for me, just because Sweden has been so competitive, I feel like it just in the last 14, 15 years when it comes to major tournaments, that I would probably just flip those two in the middle. So I'd have Netherlands, Sweden, Japan, Tunisia.
That's fine. I think I'm fine putting Sweden at 3rd because they're going through. I don't think there's any reality where they don't go through.
Yeah, I think that those are going to be one of the two, like either Japan or Sweden are going to be one of the 2 teams that goes through as the 3rd, whatever it is. So it's like that.
I will say I'll quickly give some recommendations of games to watch. I think every match in Group D is entertaining. I think Brazil Morocco is entertaining. Yeah. I think Switzerland Canada is entertaining. I think Mexico South Korea is. I'll skip Group A, honestly. I don't think Group A is that interesting. I think Canada Switzerland's a great match. I think Brazil Morocco is a great match. I think all of Group D is entertaining. I think I think the Group E is not entertaining. Maybe Germany, Ecuador, but I skip it.
Yeah.
I think Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, those three teams matching up against each other, that entire group is must see. Other than Tunisia, and even Tunisia might upset somebody here. Yeah. So that group is interesting. So that would be my recommendation. We have Iran, obviously, with everything going on. They're still here, still playing matches in the U.S. I don't know how that's gonna go. Yeah. I'm really nervous to see how this shakes out, just from the political aspect of it. They moved their camp to Mexico. They are playing a match here in Seattle, so I'll report to you guys how that goes. Yeah. Trump has said, ironically, that they're not going to make it through. Brandon, there's a real chance that Iran it through as a 3. If you compare everything else here, there's a real chance they make it through as a 3. They're better than people give them credit for. They have gotten a point in every World Cup they've been in.
Like, Belgium is your clear 1, and then after that, you can make a case that they do probably make it through as a 3. Like, I don't see how.
I think Egypt's definitely better. I think that's obvious. But the idea, again, war aside, just talking football, just talking soccer, Iran can absolutely make it through. Considering the other groups that we've seen, they definitely can. And I'm sorry, New Zealand, you're fun, but you're not that fun. You're better at the women's game. But no, I think there's a reality that Iran makes it through and pisses off Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump gives them and the world. But honestly, I think they make it through. I think there's a chance we'll go through it. But like, Iran's got a point at every World Cup they've gone to. I think it's likely that they go through. I really do. Just pure football. They're a better team than people think they are.
Yeah.
Honestly. So I'm going to Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Is that good for you?
That's my order.
Yeah. All right. Oh my God. I don't even know what to start. I don't know what to do with this group. That's
basically the way you have it. Spain, Uruguay, and then everybody else.
Saudi and Cape Verde. Cape Verde, I think, is also one of the smaller nations. I think they are the smallest. I forgot they're in here. Spain, Uruguay, must watch. I'm sorry. That's going to be fantastic. I will make a recommendation that Egypt and Iran is a fun matchup. I would watch that.
Yeah.
If I'd say anything, I would say that's a fun one. But yeah, I think Spain, Uruguay go through. I don't think we see Saudi or Cape Verde.
Yeah.
Iraq is a fun team. They actually play good football, but they're not as interesting as everyone else.
Yeah.
Of course, we have Erling Haaland here. As much as I like Senegal, and I do like Senegal, I'm gonna go France. I'm gonna go Erling Haaland finds a way to get in at the 2, and then Senegal, Iraq.
Yep, that's how I would have it.
I should win the tournament. Honestly, I think they have I think top to bottom, they've been incredible. Remember the Euros, how impressive not only they were offensively but defensively. They across the board were much more impressive than people gave them credit for, and that's ironic considering they're the best country in the world right now. But I think they win the whole thing.
I will say, not even being biased, I think the only team that can really give them a run is actually us.
Yeah, I say that. I think Spain has a good shot, although they're older.
Because I know every time we've played France, every time Portugal has played France, those games have gone down to the absolute 11th hour. They've gone down to the wire. Yeah. So I wouldn't put it past us that we finally exercise those demons either. So
the biggest thing I'll say with Argentina,
I was gonna say we did beat them in the Euro, but still.
Yeah. The biggest thing I'll say about Argentina is they're always the upset pick. I don't think Austria. Yeah. I think Austria can upset them. Every World Cup they lull. Remember last World Cup in 2022, how they kind of lulled through the group before the whole thing. They don't take the group that seriously because they're that old. I think Australia or Algeria gives them a shot.
I don't think they can do it again, though. I don't think Argentina can do that again. They can't afford to do that again. They have to take it seriously.
They can't afford to do it again at all. They have to take this. And this group's better than a lot of other groups here, but I think this is obvious. I think Argentina, I think Austria, I think Algeria, Jordan. I think Messi's gonna be fine. I know we got an injury the last game in Miami. I think he'll be. I think this is what I have it. I think Algeria has a run to make it through, but do you have it the same way here?
Yeah, that's about right. That's what I would have too.
Yeah. See, we're in Group K? What the hell? There's so many groups, dude. Oh, and this is your group. Oh my god. Okay, give me the rundown, please.
Yeah, so us and then roadkill behind us. but still, us, it's pretty simple. It's us, Colombia, probably the Congo, and then what do you got? Uzbekistan last. Yeah, that's probably about where it's gonna end up.
Yeah, I think the Congo have been impressive in their run of the World Cup. I think they barely made it in, to be frank.
I mean, we literally. Well, the thing is too, like Game 3 against Colombia is not really gonna matter because we're gonna smack the Congo and Uzbekistan. So it's like we're just gonna like those two games.
That's still on my game recommendation list because they hate each other. So I still would recommend it.
Yeah, but
in comparison,
it's like if both teams don't need it to get through, then it's like that game's just whatever. And both teams are probably not going to need it to get through.
Yeah. So I don't think Congo or Uzbekistan puts up a fight. I don't think those games are that interesting.
I think that we'll probably still end up first, then Colombia, then Congo, then Uzbekistan. I think that we could literally play with our B teams against the Congo and Uzbekistan and just save Ronaldo for the Colombia game if we need him, and then let him play. Like,
I have no idea. I'd be surprised. I think what's probably going to happen with those Congo and Uzbekistan games is he plays like 50 to 60 minutes, and they take him out.
That's about it.
That's about what I see. Recommendations, yeah. I put Argentina, Australia in my recommendation list. I think they're going to be fun. Oh my god, we're Group L. So many freaking. This is the last group. Why do we need groups going down to L? This is stupid. England, I'm sorry, have fun. This is not an easy group. By any stretch, this is not. Mine is Ghana, and Ghana is always a fun group.
Ghana's frisky.
Ghana's frisky. And England, I'll be honest, man, England's roster, what Thomas Tuchel put out there, I'm not impressed. I'm not. Yeah. I'm really not. Croatia wins the group.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you might want to fix that because I don't think England's winning the group. I think
England's winning the group with that roster. With that 26? No. I'm gonna go Croatia, England, Panama, Ghana. That's what I'm gonna do. I think that's about right. I say Croatia, England. I think Croatia, England's fairly early. That's must-see TV. That is the must-see TV of that is this match right here of all the group stage games. That's the must-watch tag. That's the flashing red emergency watch the game. These two, absolutely, without a single question.
Panama's got a chance to sneak in as a 3. They've got a chance.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue on here to step 2. Who makes it through to the first place games? How many make it? Let me look at 8 third place teams advance. 8 of them. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. For me,
didn't like half that or even a quarter of that?
Yeah, so stupid. That's so stupid. Sweden makes it through. Iran makes it through. I'm sorry, Donald. Just from a football perspective, lol, Donald Trump, they're making it through. Watch how they play football. I'm sorry, just watch it.
Yeah.
Iran makes it through. Panama makes it through. Yeah. This is stupid. Australia makes it through. Ivory Coast makes it through. Algeria makes it through. Senegal makes it through. And then I am going to throw
Sweden or Panama.
I already said Sweden. Oh my God, Czechia or Scotland? Czechia. Done.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I'm sorry, if there's eight third place teams, Iran's making it through. I don't even think that's hot. I don't even think that's hot. I think they make it.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Is that it? Do we have we're just going all the way to the groups? Okay, that's fine. This is good. I think this is good. So all right. So really quick, I'm just gonna shout out the games that you need to watch. I'm gonna say skip Group A. Do you agree? I don't think Group A is interesting.
Yeah, Group A is boring.
Canada, Switzerland, must see for sure. Is that fair?
Yeah, because that basically will determine who wins the group, I think. So
Canada, Switzerland's must see. C, I only care about Brazil, Morocco. In that, I don't care. I would say that's must watch. Yeah. Group D, I care about every match in Group D. I think this is the most competitive group here. And I think it's a fun group. It's not group of death worthy, but it's group of skeleton, I guess. Like before you die, I say group of skeleton. Germany, I probably skip this entire group. Maybe Ecuador is interesting, but even then, group F, I actually think you should watch every match in this group. I think Tunisia is interesting. F is must see.
F is a pretty good group.
Yeah. G, I care about Belgium, Egypt, and Iran. I think you watch all three of those. Go through the group. Yeah. I think Spain and Paraguay, the rest alone.
Yep.
I think France, Norway, and Senegal are interesting. I think you watch all of their matches. Iraq is kind of whatever. Argentina, I think you watch the entire group. Maybe you skip Jordan, but I think the entire group is fun. Because Argentina can absolutely lose to Australia or Algeria at any moment. I think your group's not interesting. I think you could skip the entire thing, minus Portugal and Colombia. You could skip the entire thing. Croatia, England is must-see television. Like I'm saying, this is the number one game in the group stage. You watch this. If you don't watch anything else from the group stage, you watch these two go. And I think that's pretty obvious. So, and I want to see is this late or is this early? Because I think this one's early. I think this is like second match day, I should say. I think I'm gonna double check, but I think this is must see because I think England's roster is so bad that they could lose this 4-1 or they could win like 2-1. That's how freaking stupid that is. I just want to double check. What match day their thing is. I think it is it 2? Or I think it's their first match. Yeah, Wednesday, June 17th at 4 p.m. Eastern on Fox. That's must-see TV. That's right after Portugal and Congo go at it. That's worth it. I would drop everything and watch that. That's going to be the best match of the entire group stage. And I don't think that's really anything else. Anything that you want to add to this in terms of matches you're keeping an eye on? Anything else?
No, because you're basically hitting the nail on the head. So I mean, because honestly, a lot of the third and fourth place teams we just don't care about. There's a lot of crap ones throughout this entire just bracket here and whatnot in all these groups. So I don't think so. I think what the matches you said are pretty much the ones to look out for. Like, because it's like you can't, unless you're just a real soccer holic, and even then, I wouldn't even,
Are you really going to care about waking up early to watch or waking up or not even waking up early, but like midday? Do you care about watching I don't know, Scotland and Haiti?
You also got
Curacao and Ivory Coast. Really? I mean, do we care?
You also got to realize too that it's if you're unemployed, you love it. If you're an unemployed soccer fan, you love it because you get to watch everything. But for those that are employed,
even me, sitting at home and working on our shows and stuff, I'm gonna skip them. I really do not care about watching. I'll watch Portugal Congo with you just because it's Portugal. And I like watching your team. I like watching your country. Yeah. but you're not gonna see me wake up and watch Qatar and Bosnia. You're just not. I do not care. I do not, because the care, and that's the big this world about everything with the surrounding area, and we've done that to death. But there's a lot of matches in this group stage that I do not care. I genuinely don't. I have no interest in like maybe a quarter of these matches, and what's up, Kurt? Good to have you here. But no, genuinely, that's my biggest issue with this World Cup. It's the most oversaturated World Cup I've ever had, and they're gonna oversaturate it more. It's like, because I'm sorry, like the quality of soccer at the bottom end is like, well, Patrick, you come to the right place, man, because this is what we're gonna do all summer. We're gonna yell about the stupid World Cup, but that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's what I also don't understand. So like Fox paid, I think FIFA was like pissed at them, and there's a bunch. So they paid like 450 some odd million, no, 483 million. So they paid half they paid half of the $1 billion market cap because of the World Cup being in the freaking winter, which ruined our schedule so much. Remember how bad that was for us here in America. But the thing is, like, these games have national windows on Fox. Like, I think 75 to 80% of them do, at least for the group stage. And I think about a quarter of them aren't interesting. Like, I'm not going to watch. I'm just not, man. I don't care. It doesn't make a difference to me. Even if, and there's going to be upsets in this tournament. I'm not saying there isn't. But the entire thing is not going to be upset city. There's going to be a couple of matches. But from a core standpoint, like, I don't even, and that's part of the thing. You're spending thousands of dollars to see like France and Senegal. Really? This is what we doing? Like, I don't care. Like, I do not care. And it's like, yeah. Do you have anything else on that piece where it's like, this just feels so oversaturated to me? I do not care. And I'm home. I don't care. I have better things to do.
That's why I say it's only for your, like, the most diehard of diehard soccer fans. Like so diehard that you get physically sick when you're away from soccer for more than 5 seconds. Because like that, because nobody in their right mind is gonna watch some of those garbage matches. They're just not. Like, it's not happening. That's like you said, like that's like us saying, like, I mean, and you do this when the games are happening in London. But like, imagine if every early game, if every game in the NFL took place early in the morning, and every game was like Browns Texans. Would you watch that? Of course not.
But that's part of it too. It's like, yeah, like for us, because we do a podcast on it, like I'll watch them. But even then, like, I don't think it's going to hinder our coverage of the World Cup not watching Qatar play one of the random games. It's not going to make a difference. It's not. When we get to the round of 32, are we going to care about like a random Qatar game in the middle of the month? No.
And no one's going to remember it.
No one's going to remember it.
Once that game's over, nobody's going to remember it.
And yet those tickets cost $1,000. Anyone paying $1,000 for that needs to check their eyelids. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The fact that it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. Like, there's nothing worthwhile about it. And even for you, man, like you're gonna watch Portugal because it's Portugal. Yeah. But you're gonna bleed your eyes out watching them win 5-0 against Congo.
I'm gonna be laughing.
You're gonna bleed your eyes. Yeah.
Like, I'm like, this is like ridiculous. This is Big Brother beating up on the little brother, like, constantly.
Just in the World Cup, man. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like that game is gonna be 4-0 at half. Like, come on, man. What are we doing here? It's too easy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't understand what we're doing. Let me check. Anything else on the docket before we do some rapid fire things and we head out and have you enjoy the OKC game? Let's see. What do we have here? Let me double check. Let's see. Oh, no, we're good. Okay. Do you want to start with Clash in Italy this weekend? Do some WWE?
Yeah.
This whole Brock Lesnar retirement angle is one of the dumbest, most desperate things WWE has done. And I don't follow wrestling as close as you, but am I right in saying that it's probably the most desperate thing they've done in like 2 decades?
Here's
The
here's
retired,
here's
not
one of,
retired
here's one of the
awfulness.
biggest here's one of the biggest issues that I have with this, and I know it's happened a couple times before, but not to this extent where you have a guy, and this is what's rough. If it's kind of almost a slap. I said I told this to you. It's almost a slap in the face to the wrestlers who do retire. Like when you leave your boots in the middle of the ring, and you have you have Paul Heyman crying, Lesnar basically getting emotional. When you have
Yeah.
guys that are full on like really selling it, but you figured at that time that it was real, that it was legit. When you leave your boots in the ring, that is it. You do not come back. You might come back for like some guest appearances like John Cena did or whatever. But when you leave your
But he's
boots in
just
the
on he's
ring,
just on the mic being a promotional guy. He's just doing promos. That's fine. I can let John Cena do promos. That's fine.
exactly. But it's like the thing that pisses me off is and then Lesnar throws up the X. And the thing is when in wrestling, when you throw up the X, that means it's not a work, it's for real. Like that something is absolutely happening here that's important. When you like in most cases when we see wrestlers or you'll see the referee in a wrestling match if you go back through some of them, like I'll take you back to Sting versus Jeff Hardy and TNA at Victory Road. I think it was 2011, where the referee in the ring, I think it was Hebner or it might have been Hebner, throws up the X, letting the camera people know, production people know, and letting the backstage know that something's wrong, that we can't do this. When you throw up the X in wrestling, it's a
Right.
very serious matter. And so Lesnar leaves his boots in the ring and basically throws up the X. Basically, I'm done. Having him come back is just
Oh, like 2 weeks
disrespectful on
later,
so many levels. It's
less.
or even maybe even less. Having him come back with that being the kind of the angle for this is it's just especially for a guy like Brock Lesnar who goes away for so long, comes back like he's busier nowadays than more than just WWE. So it's like he wants to be at home, wants to be a family guy. I get that, but so he's not even a full-time wrestler. So it's like you're having a guy who's already used to leaving and coming back whenever he pleases, then put his boots in the ring, throw up the X, and then 2 weeks later he's back again. Not even like
Well,
almost not even like
the problem I hate
like
with it is like him and Obafemi, right?
yeah
He's basically the huge part of the promo is I'm gonna beat Oba in Clash in Italy, but I'm still retired. You're gonna lose to a retired wrestler. If you're
like
back, you're not actually
yeah,
retired. Like, what are
that's
you talking
and that's
about? What
and
what
that
what kind of writing is that?
and that's
Who
the
comes up
problem.
with this?
It's just a botched storyline because the thing is the whole point of this whole thing was to put Oba Femi over, and
Right?
now
Yeah.
you're just gonna bury him. So like it doesn't make sense to me to put someone over like that, have Lesnar go out his own way because remember, Lesnar is a guy throughout his career where it's like he didn't sell, other wrestlers' moves. He didn't put you over unless he felt you were worthy of being put over. He put over Oba Femi and retired, and now you come back to basically face him. And because WWE wants to milk their cash cow because Lesnar is one of their cash cows, you know,
Right.
it's like, but it just doesn't make sense. Like when John Cena kept coming back, after being a part-time wrestler for so long, kept coming back for certain events, it made sense because he was still, he was still there. You still knew he was there. But with Lesnar being gone for so long, then coming back, then kind of having a little bit of a run, then kind of being part of John Cena's retirement tour, and then, and then to have him kind of going this little like out of nowhere, throw up to leave the boots in the ring, throw up the X and retire. Like it's yeah. Go ahead, Patrick. Ask the question. But it bothers me that that's not a way to do a storyline where you're trying to put a young, very talented, very powerful wrestler like Obafemi over. You can't do it that way. Like, even if Brock Lesnar was to come back, his next target shouldn't be Oba again.
Yeah.
coming back for revenge after he's quote unquote retired. Like it should be somebody else. Like so
Yeah.
you're doing a disservice to the whole retirement thing that wrestlers do with the leaving the boots, and throwing the X up, and then you're having him come back just to face Oba again. So basically, the guy you put over 2 or 3 weeks ago, you're going to go back to now burying him for what? What does anybody have? What does Brock Lesnar have to gain from that? What does Oba have to gain from that? Honestly, Oba's got everything to lose from that.
So does Brock. I mean, you're just tarnishing the guy's legacy, and I apologize, Brandon, but
Yeah.
the reason why they did this, and Wrestle Talk talked about this as well. Go listen to them; they're amazing. They were basically like, look, they're just doing this because WrestleMania sucked minus the main event. The entire card was just a commercial fest. And then Patrick was asking, and you know this a lot more than I do, how much say does Triple H have right now? I really don't know how much say he has because TKO's running the whole damn thing.
Well, it's tough. When he first took it over, we figured he had a lot, especially after taking it over for Vince. We figured that he would have a lot, and everybody was excited because there was a whole new era because Vince had his thumb on the pulse of WWE for so long. Obviously, it's his company, so finally him giving it up to someone else, even though it's still the biggest problem with the Triple H era started when people thought, because they're idiots, thought that the Triple H era would be any different than what Vince McMahon was giving you up to that point. It was not going to be. Triple H is basically an adopted McMahon. He's married to Stephanie. He's been one of Vince's boys since he came into the business. So
right. And he's been behind the scenes since like 2011. He cares about the creative side of WWE.
Ever since he became one of the main players in WWE, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, he's been behind the scenes in guys' ears. So the fact that people thought that the Triple H era would change things, that was dumb to think that. And not just that, but I think Triple H still has a good bit of pull because it is the company that he really helped skyrocket with the help of Vince, and also having that pull with the McMahons and being married to Stephanie and whatnot. It's still like his company. But the problem is that TKO and the shareholders are the ones really calling the shots.
Yeah,
and
that's the same thing happening in the UFC because it's the same freaking company. Like it's the same thing.
They only care because it's a major corporation, and there's one thing about major corporations that we all know: they don't care about the fans or the consumer. They care about lining their own pockets and how much money they can profit with.
Yeah.
So wrestling is now suffering from that by selling out to TKO like they did years ago. So that's why for me it's hard for me to, like, out of all the wrestling companies, there's WWE, there's AEW, TNA, which is technically still partnered with WWE, which I don't like, and then
we have the new luchador thing in Mexico, which is looking pretty fun.
It's not new. AAA has been around for a while, but you've got them, you've got NJPW, obviously in Japan, so you've got different companies, but this is why I prefer nowadays to watch. I think I've preferred it since the start because that's what got me back into wrestling. So AEW, I prefer that a lot more.
If you just look, and again, I'm now starting to get into AEW a lot more, and like their pay per view last week was sick apparently, but they do some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, they do stuff that's like TVMA plus.
Oh yeah,
kind of. It's crazy.
Like they're not like people keep saying like oh that AEW is the one company that's bringing back like the Attitude Era. It's not the Attitude Era. They're bringing back the Ruthless Aggression, like the prime John Cena, Triple H, Undertaker era. So and that's what I like because that's the era that I grew up with. Our generation grew up with the Ruthless Aggression era and some of the early PG era in the early 2010s. The AEW is bringing that back, and I love that because that's the wrestling that I grew up on. That's the last era of wrestling that meant something. So when they started up, I had been away from wrestling for about 5-6 years, something like that. So I stopped watching when I was about 13, 14, and then AEW comes around right around the pandemic, 2019, 2020. So I have been out of the loop. But when I saw the vignettes for it and like the teasers for it, talking about like what they kept showing like AEW coming soon, like back when when it was debuting.
Yeah, like
And I was like,
Turner and stuff when
and I
they
was like,
had the when they got the contract.
and I was like, oh my god, like this looks exactly like what I used to miss, like watching wrestling. This is what I missed, and I still feel that way when I watch A. First, and the thing is too, you know what AEW, what happens with AEW? Tony Khan actually listens to the fans. Tony Khan's the
Yeah.
one running the show. Tony Khan's got,
Yep.
and everybody goes, "Oh, well, AEW is going under." No, it's not because Tony Khan's got a bunch of money. Their pay-per-views still sell well, and they still sell at
Pay-per-view went
arenas.
crazy
So,
last week. The thing that I'll
so
say is like the Warner Bros. Merger is being a problem for them because I don't know
a
what they're
little
going to
bit.
do in terms of the TV contract.
Yeah,
But aside of the TV contract, the actual like that's my one thing about wrestling. Like, wrestling is supposed to be silly and fun. Like I saw
yeah,
last week, AEW posted a thing of this guy hitting people with a flipping vacuum. What?
yeah.
What? Like it's silly, it's stupid, it's kind of
Like,
childish, but that's the
like,
entire point of wrestling. It's supposed to be entertaining.
but
It's
that's the
just
thing is like
entertainment.
when you go back to when WWE was the WWF and what they did then, like Stone Cold driving the Zamboni or the beer truck into the arena, or guys like obviously Triple H with his signature sledgehammer, hitting guys in the stomach and over the back and all these different things, or you had angles where you would have guys getting hit by like an ambulance. It's like WWE doesn't do that realistically anymore. AEW
Right.
does. So,
Do you? My favorite thing that like sports in general has done all year is AEW teamed up with TGL and they rented out TGL. Like they rented
which is
out the whole
awesome.
course,
Which is
and
awesome.
they freaking like on a golf course. We're like, let's fight on a golf course. Like what?
Yeah.
Who comes
Like,
up with
and
that?
the thing that I still love, and listen, botches happen in wrestling because nobody's perfect. And, even a rehearsed kind of fight still has to be, there's still things that can happen. But AEW, the in-ring work between these wrestlers, not only because a lot of these guys have been there since the start of AEW, so they're familiar with each other, but these guys a lot of these guys have been in the business for a long time up until they joined AEW. So a lot of these guys are, even if they're younger, even if they're in their late 20s, early 30s, they've been in the business since they were 16, 17 years old. So
Yeah,
they're
and
still
that's the
very
thing too. And that's the thing too that I respect about AEW is there's actual wrestling development. Like you can make an
yeah,
argument that they're actually developing the wrestlers better than NXT has in the past 5 years.
yeah, like
Because NXT is
AEW,
like, well, other than 2014 and 2017, but like I would argue it's better than NXT.
if
NXT should
you
be doing a lot more.
if you watch AEW, you watch some of the young stars that have come through AEW that the WWE like really wants. Like they wanted Powerhouse Hobbs. They got him, and they renamed him Royce. Was that Royce Keys or something like that? Um, which doesn't make sense. They're not using him correctly. Like I barely even heard about him since he left AEW. That's how bad WWE is not using him. They're just using him as a
They're
typical.
not promoting. They're not promoting anybody except if you're like on the very, very top, because that's
Because
what sells for
yeah,
TKO.
and put it this way: when it comes to WWE, they take AEW guys when their contract is up, and if those guys want to leave AEW, they'll take them, and then you'll never hear from them again. So like,
Right.
so
Yeah.
like Ricky Starks was over, and not totally over, but Ricky Starks was over in AEW. Leaves AEW, goes to WWE, they rename him Ricky Saints and all this different stuff. I haven't heard or seen about him outside of when he debuted in WWE, when he finally left AEW. He got a massive, reaction and whatever. Since then, not a peep. Crickets. Powerhouse Hobbs, same thing. Like, I just, you know, and the thing is that's why I love guys like MJF, because MJF, despite being one of the best heels in wrestling, if not the best heel in wrestling right now probably in the last decade, MJF is a loyal AEW guy. He's one of those guys that loves the business, that maintains the idea of kayfabe, that that truly believes in the work that he does. And I mean, that's why I'm going to go see him this Sunday. He's going to be wrestling down in Rahway, which is 45 minutes from my house. I'm going to be going.
Fun. Have a good
I'm
time.
gonna be, I'm gonna be go seeing him in the main event down in Rahway at this promotion called WrestlePro. But also, that's also what I'm saying too, is like instead of WWE and all their crap and all their glitz and glamour and all their Hollywood bullshit, I would rather go see AEW, GCW, WrestlePro, like all these indies, because A, they give a damn about their product. B, these wrestlers believe in what they're doing, and C, it's just a way better price point for a good product, for a better product.
Yeah, AEW is pretty expensive for 100 level, but even then, I would argue it's more reasonably priced than WWE
It
because
still is
WWE is like insane.
yeah.
Yeah, it still blows it
If
away.
if you want to
Yeah.
sit, not floor, but if you want to sit like where me and my buddies have sat for AEW Full Gear, because Full Gear is the big pay-per-view that comes to Jersey every year, and they go to the Rock, and you know that I've sent you guys pictures,
Yep. Yep.
and so Full Gear is basically AEW's Jersey pay-per-view more or less, and
Yep.
so and Full Gear is one of their bigger pay-per-views overall. Like Full Gear is one of the best pay-per-views that AEW puts on.
That reminds me, we should watch All In this year because now I'm intrigued. Now I want to watch AEW All In this year. We should watch it.
The next one coming up is Forbidden Door. I think it's
Yeah.
Door.
I think All In's like in August or something. We should watch that.
It's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'll double check.
But
because now I'm curious. Now I want to see what their WrestleMania equivalent is, which is All In. I want to see what that's like.
I think it's AEW's equivalent of WrestleMania. I think
it's All In. It's All In.
It might be All In. I think it is.
It is All In because they're in Wembley. Yeah.
Yeah, I think All In is their biggest one. Yeah.
August 30th. Yeah. August 30th. I'm in. Let's watch this thing. I want to see what this is.
Yeah, full gear is like they're really to me, from what I know about it, Full Gear is like their second or third biggest one. It's massive.
Their All or Nothing last week was awesome from what I've heard from people, is that it was sick.
But the thing is like I can sit right where the hard cam is, so we can be on TV like we were for Full Gear. I can literally sit with my friends and be right in the TV crosshairs. So literally, like 12 rows up from the floor, sitting in the stands for $150. Whereas if that was WWE, that would be $450.
Screw that! It's like $1,000 right now to even sit in that level.
Yeah, probably even more. Yeah, probably even more. Just being generous. But AEW is just, I'd rather pay $150 to sit that close, and also you get more wrestling. You get 5 hours of a show. WWE gives you
not 2.5 hours and 40 minutes of advertisements. Like I'll be real. Is Raw or SmackDown even important? Like you don't have to watch Raw or SmackDown like at all.
They used to be growing up.
You don't have to like at all. I have Netflix and I don't watch Raw. I have I don't watch Raw at all. I have USA. I don't watch SmackDown at all. I record it. I don't watch it.
Yeah, because the last time that Raw and SmackDown were truly important, or if you missed something, you'd be like, "Oh crap, I have to find a way to go back and see it." Was back during the early PG era, so the early 2010s. After that, you could watch Raw or SmackDown like maybe once or twice and figure out a whole storyline just based off 2 or 3 episodes and never have to watch it until the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and that's my thing. So the funny part about Clash in Italy, remember? So it's in Turin. Do you remember? I think I sent you this. You might have missed it, so you'll get a good reaction out of this. Remember the Olympic hockey arena that we were pissed about, like the one by the neighborhood? That's where they're doing Clash in Italy. It's that arena.
Oh my god!
It's actually that arena. They booked that one. Out of all the places they could have picked in Italy, they booked that one in Turin. So they booked like the worst arena in Italy. And I'm sure it's been upconverted since the Olympics, but still, it's gonna look awful.
Nothing. Have we learned nothing? This is ridiculous, man. Oh my god!
Yeah, they booked that arena. That small piece of crap. They're doing Clash in Italy.
And then the worst part is, the WWE is down bad when in their promotional thing, They've got Triple H basically promising fans that they're going to give them a good show. If the guy running the show has to tell fans in the promo material that he's
And it will be a
promising
good
a
show.
good show, you are screwed. You are screwed. So, oh my
And it's
God.
like all this blah about like WWE's community, WWE is global, and I'm like, dude, I looked at the Clash of Italy card and I hate it. I think it's terrible. I hate every single. Am I gonna watch the first hour because it's on ESPN, on regular ESPN? Absolutely. I'm gonna watch the first hour. I'm gonna message you and be like, that was pointless, because I did that with the last 2 pay-per-views and it was awful. And I only watched like 2 hours of each one.
WWE just tires me to no extent because I'm just like, WWE is global, but my God, they are really hurting wrestling by doing some of the dumb crap that they do.
It's entertaining
And it's
for
just
me
like,
as a casual fan because it's like, oh my God, I can't believe someone's this stupid
yeah,
to do this.
it's I this is why I said it when AEW started. I said to people, finally, WWE has real competition again for the first time since WCW, and AEW basically is a WCW basically counterpart because AEW it has uh the same lead announcer. Tony Schiavone was the WCW lead announcer for many years, and
Yeah.
it was also on Turner, so just like AEW is. So like, but AEW is just everything about it and the decisions that they're making. Everybody's like, "Oh, it's just gonna be another WCW. It's gonna dry out and die." It's like, no, it's not, because Tony Khan's got more money than God, and B, people are still showing up to this. And when they do make a mistake with a storyline, they quickly get rid of it and pivot to something else, which is
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
So,
And
which
WWE,
is
like, it's funny because WWE, I don't know, I think you saw this like last year or 2 years ago. They were on LinkedIn, all these random websites. They're like, we're looking for a new like writer. Who did they hire? Because I'm like, these storylines are terrible, and I don't even follow the thing. I don't understand what we're doing here, man.
It will never, Rob. It will never make sense to me. It will never, ever make sense to me. I, I, as someone who's fallen in and out of love with wrestling for various reasons, for it to be, for WWE to be where they're at, and I don't understand why there are still people grown like people who are 40, in their late 30s into their 40s, who still watch, and the thing is, the only thing they watch is WWE. You remember the Attitude Era. You remember the Ruthless Aggression Era. You remember guys even before that, like Hogan, like a Ric Flair, whatever it is. Why are you still supporting a crap product? Because
Well,
WWE
my whole thing with WWE is like, I'm now just kind of starting to get into it just because I'm curious on how the business operates and all these different things. WWE was a good starting point, and I realized, oh, this is crap. I'm gonna start listening to more AEW stuff and just getting a sense of what that looks like because it's so much better.
When you get that world view of like, okay, you got WWE's talking points, AEW's talking points. You can go back and watch WCW stuff on YouTube. I go back.
The thing that and I heard the rest of guys talk about, and I agree. WWE to me just feels the same. I like watching a bit of Backlash, watching a bit of WrestleMania. I'm like, every match feels the same, and then here's one match with a bunch of wrestlers, quote unquote, not entirely, because there's some good celebrity wrestlers out there. I don't think Speed and Logan Paul are necessarily awful. They train, they do what they do, but it's like celebrities just to get clicks from 15-year-olds doesn't help your product. Because 15-year-olds drop in and out of things all the time. And they put those matches on ESPN, and I'm like, even Brock Lesnar retiring, it was on ESPN. I didn't care. I was like, okay, cool, he retired, and it wasn't even a talking point on national media the next day. It's like, what's the freaking point then, man? What are we doing? Like,
that's what just makes me like even angrier. Is like, you like what you like, and all these different things, but and everybody's like, oh, well, back in the day, Mr. T was part of WWE in the mid to late '80s, and you had Jeremy Piven, during the Ruthless Aggression era, show up on Raw and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, but that was here and there. It wasn't every week we have a celebrity. Like,
Yeah.
I think
The celebrity matches, I'll be real. I've watched with the last two pay-per-views, and they put the first out of the pay-per-view, the pre-show on ESPN. Every single one that has any celebrity, I don't care. It's just in the background. I just have it in the background so I can talk about it. I don't care. I genuinely do not give a single care in the world about it. Even if they're good. I'm not saying Logan Paul's a bad wrestler, but I don't care. I don't care about the Vision right now. The Vision are not interesting.
Like, Logan Paul is one of the few guys that's dedicated to the craft. Like, he actually is a really good wrestler.
He is very good.
But, like, Speed's athletic, but Speed should not wrestle. Like, Jelly Roll is not a wrestler. Stick to music. Like we gotta stop putting in guys just to get clicks. Like, because back in the day when you brought in a celebrity, it meant something. Like, when back in the late '90s, when they brought in, oh wow, catch by me again, just like last night. They brought in Mike Tyson during a Stone Cold and DX and like Triple H kind of the segment back in the late '90s. Mike Tyson, even though he wasn't a wrestler, it felt important because it felt real. And the thing is, they didn't beat that storyline to death. They made it pay off. They made it a quick storyline. They made it pay off at the end, and everybody went home happy. Now you're involving the same damn celebrity for a storyline that you're trying to build up long term for 2 years. I don't need to see the damn celebrity on my screen for 2 years. I don't need to see it. Get rid of it. Enough is enough.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And I'm watching it. I'm watching it on regular ESPN. And I don't have the pay-per-view. I don't have ESPN Unlimited. I'm just to get a little peek. Watch ESPN. Watch the game. It's like, oh, stupid celebrity again. Whatever. I don't care. All right. You know what else I don't care about? The enhanced games. Okay. This thing was on my radar for about 2 years. The reason why it was because the concept was interesting. They said these billionaire weirdos. Yeah, look them up. They are weirdos. Okay, like, I'm not even gonna get into how these people they're like billionaire weirdos who are like obsessed with aging, and I'm not even gonna get into it. It's freaking weird. What I will get into is this. People got so angry at the enhanced games because they were like, "Oh my god, we're gonna have an Olympics for people to get shot up with steroids," and it was like real, like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna shoot you up with like FDA approved roids," and I was like, "Okay, first off, this is an interesting premise because we've always wondered how people on roids are gonna do against regular people." And I thought, okay, yeah, this is interesting, right? So Memorial Day comes around last week. Enhanced games happen. Nobody talks about it other than, some local things here. And the greatest thing in the world happened. Which is, so Olympic runners in particular, like, that are going to probably be in 2028, said, yeah, I'll do the enhanced games. Give me the money. I'll do it as like Olympic prep, and one of them said, and pretty much every one of them said, the leader of that group said the same thing. We're wrestling clean, or not? We're wrestling clean. Jesus, we're running clean. We're swimming clean. We're gonna go clean. We're gonna beat these dudes. We're gonna beat their sockets in clean. And guess what happened? They did exactly that, except one guy won on. And I was like, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Because it proves the point of, like, look, you can shoot yourself up on roids all you want. But if you're not going to train just because you think roids are going to help you, you're clueless. Yeah. You're clueless. And they only won world record. So the event didn't even work. But it was so funny seeing, like, these guys who are, like, Olympians, former Olympians, just roast these ginormous-ass dudes with ginormous muscles, and it meant nothing.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was amazing, dude.
And I want to say to anybody listening, we're not endorsing roids because they are bad for you eventually in the long run.
Oh yeah, and that's part of the point. Even FDA approved roids are bad for you, and these guys are all muscled up like crazy for no reason.
And yes, for those that also understand baseball, especially roids. You still have to train on them. We're not saying that that roids you just take a bunch of roids and hit a bunch of home runs and whatever. But still, when baseball players in the past who have been on roids, especially ones who were good without them, take roids, it does help you hit more home runs and more power, etc. It does help with that. But to have
random people, no.
But yeah, random people, no. And
they just
and
put
the
these random people on roids, and only one of it worked. Because they're idiots.
I wish I could understand. I understand that billionaires have a bunch of money, but this is the beginning of these horror movies that you see where billionaires just pay for exotic things that they should not that they should not have or have access to, and it's this is a problem because it's funny on the surface, but this will get worse. They will keep pushing the envelope down the road, and this is gonna get worse. And I'm like, oh, this is just it's so not.
The funny part is these clean athletes, these former Olympians, these Olympians that we're going to see in 2028, they made bank doing nothing. They made bank running at half speed, swimming at half speed. It was so funny. And then the coverage was terrible. It cut out all the time. The camera angles were terrible. It's like, bro, you're spending over $1 billion for that? Just to prove a stupid point, just to sell stupid supplements and whatever? What are we doing?
I don't know. I mean, the premise sounds cool and quirky and funny on the surface, but my God, how that ever got the green light to go? How that ever got? We're living in a simulation.
We're living in absurd times.
Because oh my God, this is
my problem with the thing wasn't the fact that it happened. My problem was the blind faith that these guys had that they'll take these semi-pro athletes, bump them up with roids, and think they'll break every single world record that's ever been posted is unbelievably stupid.
Over an Olympian.
Over an actual current or upcoming 2028 and past Olympian who's clean? Get out of here, dude. You're what? What? And you know what they did? They're offering somebody $10,000 to juice up on roids to beat Usain Bolt's record. That's their next ploy.
They can offer any Joe Schmo at whatever amount of money that they want. You are not beating Usain Bolt's record. He's the fastest man to ever walk the earth. Nobody is beating that unless Usain Bolt himself takes steroids. And he beats his own record with steroids. No one's beating that. Oh my God, man. What are we doing here? This is the dumbest experiment. This is the dumbest human experiment I've ever seen in my life.
It's pretty dumb.
Oh, God.
It's pretty dumb. And the clean athletes came out of there with $1 million as a group. And they raced clean. It's awesome. They just gave out free money.
Billionaires would rather pay for that than actually pay higher tax. Oh, I could go into this all day.
Okay, but do you want to hear the story about the main dude who funded it? Are you ready for this? The guy's a multi-billionaire. I don't from doing some aging products or something. He's obsessed with not aging. That he replaced his blood with his son's blood like the tissue.
Oh my God.
And he like
I see where this is going. I don't like it.
and then
I
and
don't
like the
like it.
tissue and the blood, and then he's like really like he looks really like his cheek like all like plastic surgery. It looks like he has plastic surgery. Looks like Michael Jackson. He wears like giant ass glasses. He thinks that the sun will kill you, so he thinks that the sky will kill you. So he holds up a black umbrella no matter where he goes. No matter where he goes, he just has a black umbrella.
The guy, like, I understand that people don't want to die, and people don't want to age, but you do realize that there's no amount of plastic surgery, there's no amount of blood transfusions,
Aging drugs and whatever.
there's no amount of anything that can buy you immortality. We will all die eventually.
We're not Wolverine even passes away after 160 years.
Even then, like, it's like people got to realize that we're all going to die eventually. We are putting money towards the wrong things that don't matter in life.
Billions of dollars.
Like you want to do something good instead of de-aging yourself? How about you donate money to find a goddamn cure for cancer? How about that?
Yes.
I hate to curse like that, but it's true. The amount of things that we put money into it, and especially billionaires in this country that put money into it, it's like, I understand, but these are the same people that are so whacked out. Like, these are the same people that are on the files. These are the same people that are drinking babies' blood. Like, these people should not be real people, and unfortunately they are, and we have to live among them, which is ridiculous. But oh my God, I can go on and on about this whole about all this. This is wrong on so many levels.
It's stupid. It is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my entire life. And when I heard about it, I lost it because I thought it was like, oh, these random billionaires just funding them. Nope, they're trying to promote fake de-aging bullshit drugs and
I can't, man. It's the more I hear, the more we talk about it, the more I think, oh my God, horror plot. Like, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, this is a horror movie.
There's straight up a photo of this guy holding 2 vials of his blood and his son's blood, like proud. It's like smiling like a freaking villain. It's one of the. It's so funny. By the way, you know where the event took place, right? Vegas. Obviously, it did.
Oh, where else but Sin City?
Where else?
Surprised it didn't take place on the island.
It could have. Should have. Okay, so French Open stuff, of course, Sinner. Found out crazy this morning. TNT has done, by the way, great coverage on the French Open, the stuff that I have been able to watch. The story I wanted to touch on is also money related. The first day of the French Open, Coco Gauff, Sinner, a bunch of the major players basically were like, hey, you're making a lot of money for these tournaments. I believe the 3rd year of the USA Turner contract. It's a 10-year, I think it's year 2. Year 2 or year 3, I forgot. 10 years, $680 million just for a 2-week tournament. Pretty insane. Basically, players are getting less and less of that pie, and that's just TV revenue. We're not talking about merchandise sales, ticket sales, etc. Basically, so we can't have a boycott in tennis, okay? Because, like, I don't know if you know, like, if you're at the bottom echelon of tennis, you make no money. You really don't. Like, you could fly wherever you want. You don't make a lot of money. But basically, the gist of what's happening is that the players had enough. The PTPA, which is a union without being a union, I don't need to get into those details. You can search those up on your own time. It's pretty crazy. I recommend Serve with Andy Roddick. That's where I've gotten a lot of this information from. JW of the Sports Illustrated did a big expose on their channel. I think it's the day 3 French Open recap or day 2 I recommend go listen to that. That kind of inspired me for us to talk about this. Basically, they only get and look, we're not talking about how much money they get because they get a lot of money if they win the tournament. We're talking about the percentage of prize money. So the percentage of prize money for the French Open is 16% out of the pie of 100. Essentially, it's 15%. So 15%, and the players said, or the major players said, but screw this. We want 22%. And the reason why 22% matters is that's a number for like the mixed doubles, kind of the major WTA, ATP tournaments. 22 is a pretty standard fare. It really should be more because, as we all know, the majors are what people watch, what people care about. Nobody cares about a WTA 1,000 play, ATP 1,000 play, whatever, or 150 play, whatever. So essentially, they did a protest. It was one day. They're like, we're only going to do pressers 15 minutes. We can't boycott the tournament. And the tournament, French Open, Wimbledon, U.S. Open, and Australian, so all four majors, have really kicked the can down the road with this. The players have asked for this greater share of pie for years. I will say that the 2025 Wimbledon, it was 15% previously, and it went down to 12.5%, even though Wimbledon's like bought the golf course and building extra complexes and stuff, which is going to lead to more money. So they're getting less and less pieces of the pie. The players are basically, we're not going to do this. You have to stop kicking the can down the road. Jannik Sinner has been honestly disrespected by the amount of money that they're getting, just at a core, even from just playing in the tournament. So that's why the protest did occur. It's a really unique protest. It definitely worked because the organizers are like, we screwed up. This is not good. My biggest problem, Brandon, is that these major tournaments, both on the women's and men's side, are so big that the fact that you're not giving the players their fair share when the merchandising is based on the players, the reason that the TV contracts is based on the players, doesn't matter. Upsets happen in tennis. That's also entertaining. So it's just, you're just ignoring the actual people that make the sport go round just from a percentage aspect. And yeah, you could be like, you can be upset. Oh yeah, they just hit a ball through a net. But again, we always talk about this. Like, look, these tournaments make money. The NFL makes money. The MLB makes money. You have to distribute that in some way. NBA, the equity's 50-50. I don't think we're ever going to get to that in tennis, but still, like, the equity percentage has to matter. And that's why the protest did matter on the first day of the French Open. It's kind of asinine that the majors have just ignored this for this long when the quality of tennis is at the best level it's ever been, both on the WTA, which is the women's tour, and the ATP, the men's tour. But again, we're not talking about those. We're talking about the majors themselves. The quality of play is so good, and they're not getting the piece of the pie. And the fact that they've just kept kicking it down the road, and now we're going to have like honest conversations about this that should have happened 5 years ago. It's insane that it just has taken this long. And they've just not listened to the players to just feed their own pockets of money that honestly don't really need because they make billions anyway. That's kind of my overall point of bringing this up.
Yeah. Like, it's like we always talk about when it comes to sports, right? Or just anything in life when it comes to rich people, rich organizations, that the rich get richer. And it's like, but unfortunately that everybody below them kind of just stays the same. It's like when you make a certain amount of money or a certain revenue increase and things like that, it should like, as that goes, the players pay should go.
Exactly, and that hasn't happened. In fact, I would make an argument again with the Wimbledon. It's decreased, which is crazy.
Yeah. Like, it's like it shouldn't be like that the profit for the organization is growing. Meanwhile, it's like, for instance, it's like where I work, everybody's still making minimum wage when most other minimum wage jobs can afford to pay you like 18 to 20 an hour starting now. Why are we still making 16 and this company is making a massive profit?
Right.
So it's like,
it's the same. It's just big, but it's bigger dollars. You're talking the disparity between millions and billions, really.
Yeah. So it's like it's the same concept. It's like there's no reason in any sport, because we're focusing on sports. There's no reason in any sport why if the revenue goes up, why everything else shouldn't increase with it. Go right along with it. Because if that that happened, you wouldn't have you wouldn't have as many strikes as you do. You wouldn't have as many lockouts and protests as you do. If it's just it all goes back to listen, like eh, they can afford to pay these people what they're worth, especially when the revenue goes up. You can afford it.
And the revenue for these majors are skyrocketing because people care about it.
Oh, yeah,
it's skyrocketing.
Yeah. I forget the last tennis tournament that was in Queens. I forget what it was.
I mean, the U.S. Open's always in Queens. The U.S. Open's always in Queens, and they're making a ton of money. U.S. Open's making bank every year.
Yeah, this year's version of it though, I saw so many people posting that they were there, they went to it, they were watching the matches, etc. Like it made a ton of money, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Like, so you can see that the game is big, and it's continuing to still grow. So it sucks when you're not seeing these players get paid what they're worth, or at least not so much what they're worth, but as equivalent to what the revenue increases.
Right.
So it's at least that should be
happening. It matters for the players at the bottom. The players that are able to wild card qualify for a US Open. You know, that's just qualifying as a wild card, you make, you know, sometimes double or triple what you would make on the regular tour.
Yeah.
But the pie has to matter across the board because we can't and the biggest thing with tennis really is that the people at the bottom who are struggling to find their way up the ladder, you're just putting them in a horrible position because these major tournaments is the majority of their yearly revenue. So it should matter what you give them. If you qualify, it should matter. Yeah, but that's the part that I don't understand. It's like if you're making more money, as you said, it needs to do something. It needs to go up. It doesn't need to go down.
It needs to go like this. It can't go like this.
Yeah.
Because it's like then just no one, then it's like all of a sudden the quality of play is going to eventually decline because these players are pissed off, angry, don't want to play anymore, etc. So like you've got to keep the players that especially the ones that make you money, especially the bigger ones, at the very least, you got to keep them happy. But like the people at the bottom, everybody starts somewhere. You need to give like how would it feel for a young tennis player that is trying to make it to the big time, to make it to that point? You're basically locking them out by doing so too.
Right. So absolutely.
So it's like who wins here? Besides the corporation, like it's just the corporation making money. It's just the affiliation, the league, the association making money, and that's it. But that's not fair to anybody. It's not fair to fans who want to watch. It's not fair to players who want to get paid. It's not fair to bottom tier players just trying to find their way in. So like it's not fair to anybody, and it's sickening, honestly.
What bothers me more than anything is so there's a couple things, right? What bothers me is that the PTPA, the quote unquote not a union, feels scared to unionize because they're pressured by the ATP and all of the major tournaments to not unionize, but then they don't have a say. And then the other aspect of it is that when you look at tennis, tennis, FIFA, Formula One, I would argue is this way as well. I'm not going to get into those. When you're talking about the Olympics, world sports organizations have a lot of their ability to lobby, their ability to, get political favors, do all these different, all this stuff. And the money just goes back to them. They're not giving it to the people that actually play the matches, play the games, where the money goes back to them. And they feel entitled to keep that money growing, but they're not helping out the people that actually make it happen in tennis, your coaches, your trainers, your nutritionists. your travel logistics people, and then most importantly, the players. Like, that's the thing that bothers me the most. And that's why this protest was so interesting, even though it was only one day. It set the French was like, oh, this is bad PR for us. Why does it need to turn into a bad PR thing? As you said earlier, what bothers me the most about this thing and why I wanted to bring it up with you is on the show is that what bothers me is like, you make so much money. What's the harm of losing $1 billion, 500 million, 600 million to benefit the people that actually create the product? What's the harm in that? You're so blinded by we need to make more money when you can make a better product if the money goes in the right directions.
Yeah.
And then the last point I'm going to make. So Wimbledon, they're buying out the golf course across the street to basically create more matches, to create more stanchions, more arenas, essentially, more things for the fans, stuff, whatever. And so that's also what makes what the tennis, the PTPA, and the players in general at the top end are doing this, but not only for the younger players, is that, hey, Wimbledon's getting this huge upgrade. We need a piece of that pie too, because Wimbledon's the most important major. It's the most historic major. You can't give us less of the pie. You can't do that anymore. We can't allow this because you're upgrading the facilities to help us. But giving us an extra gym, what we're gonna bow down to just because you gave us an extra gym? No, extra gym $1,000. No, $100,000. Who cares? It's apples and oranges. Apples and oranges. Jesus, my voice.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's ridiculous. Anyway, go on from there. Like, it's ridiculous to me. It's ridiculous.
When the reward for something, when the reward for something is smaller than what everybody hopes or wants it to be, nobody benefits from the extra work that's put into actually creating that. Like,
Right.
when you are basically telling people that, yeah, we're gonna put a whole new an area in, a whole new kind of place to play in, and all this stuff, and people are kind of getting excited about it. And then when they say that that's the only kind of reward they're gonna get, it's gonna turn people off very quickly. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like, so it's really not. It's like, once again, it is not benefiting anybody when the reward is not substantial enough versus what they're trying to make it seem to be. So it's just it's awful. It really is awful that's what we're doing with this game right now.
Yeah. And the last important thing I'll say is you realize the amount of travel tennis players have to go through. You could be playing a match in Cincinnati and then have to go to Abu Dhabi the next morning. You know, like, support them in some way.
Yeah.
And the players at the bottom are doing it out of their pocket, or they're getting someone richer to fund them to go to, like, you're going around the world 365 days a year if you're playing every possible tournament.
Yeah.
And you're not getting almost any incentive back for doing that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable. And it hurts the sport, really, as you said, across the board. Anything else before we go? Anything more you want to say on tennis? Anything more you want to say on anything else this weekend? Got a busy weekend ahead in sports. Fairly busy, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you want to talk about sports entertainment, then as far as that goes, like I said, I'm gonna go see Wrestle Pro. I'm gonna go see MJF wrestle on Sunday night.
Have fun, man. That's gonna be lit. Yeah.
But I think that I don't know. I don't think there's anything much more I can add to that. Today is like a weird day for me because I'm like, I know this. I know that we're doing the show, but like, when the Yankees aren't on, my brain just like turns to mush. Like, when the Yankees aren't on, I'm like, oh, there's nothing to do today. Like, I'm like,
I mean, the Spurs game is on. Once the Spurs, but like, I'm so ill, dude. Once the Spurs game is done, I'm going to sleep. I I don't know how the hell I got ill again, dude. It's crazy. You know what? It's fine. It's probably the best weekend for me to get ill. So I don't. It's like whatever, right? Like I'll just rest up and then get ready for next week. It's no big deal.
I'm
But
probably
yeah,
gonna
it
put that game.
sucks. It's pretty good. The Spurs are actually hitting their shots quite well.
Where's it on?
NBC.
Okay.
NBC. Yeah, we're just about to hit the second half. 58-48. Spurs are hitting though. These young Dylan Harper's having a good game. The youngins are being aggressive for the Spurs. It's making a huge difference here. I love it. This is going to go 7 games though.
Still plenty of time for the Spurs to mess this up tonight. But
if they do.
Yeah, but I think I told Scoop yesterday. I said that to me OKC's gonna win this series. If not tonight on the road, then they're gonna finish it in Game 7. So,
and Game 7 would be what, Saturday night, I think. So yeah, Saturday night. I believe. So Knicks made it through. Vegas made it through.
Yep.
I was gonna watch Carolina Montreal. I watched 5 minutes and turned it off. I knew it was over after 5 minutes yesterday. Carolina is disgusting. And they're still kind of struggling though, because even if they get a ton of shots on the board, they're not. Doesn't really matter. But
I know. Actually, that's one thing too. I know we kind of glossed over it a little bit early on, but when Nikki said it, but still, rest in peace, Claude Lemieux.
What a legend, man! That was so sad to hear.
I was shocked because I was like, I know he's not that old, and then to go at the age of 60, and also to die by your own hand. Obviously, we've mentioned a bunch of times on this show about mental health and suicide, and then so to once again for what seems like
another week.
For another week, in the last it feels like 6 to 8 months, we've just been hearing about suicide with a lot of these players from different sports, and now Claude Lemieux is the latest one. It's insane. Obviously, fans of his will always remember, just what he meant to the teams he played for, especially Montreal, obviously, and of course for the Devils. He was part of the Devils team that won in 2000. So, that those things just cannot be, with the kind of veteran that he was on the ice, but the kind of and he had a real fiery personality. It's just one of hockey's, best personalities to see that.
Most fun guys on a week-to-week basis in hockey.
Yeah.
Most fun guys.
To see him go like that is beyond heartbreaking. And I know that Montreal will do something for him for Game 5. Because they announced that they would. I hope the Devils do something.
I'm so thankful.
I hope the Devils do something also. So, but yeah, man, that's tough, and it stinks we have to kind of end on that kind of little sad note. But it's becoming a common theme in sports, and it's not all right. So it's kind of important that we kind of solve this not solve it, but get to the bottom of this crisis and figure out how we can kind of uplift
help people
and stop them from doing stuff like that. So
yeah, I've said my piece repeatedly on my story and my journey on things, and I assume it's not so different than these players and coaches and staff and pretty much anybody who's struggling with suicide and depression. I don't think it's that much different. So it is painful to see. Yeah, I don't know what more we could say that we've already said on this show, but it definitely it puts the spotlight on it in a really wrong way, sadly, and that's what hurts me the most. I think is the as much as I think about it and as much as it hurts me on a day-to-day basis. I wish more people had the strength, not just to talk about it, but just realize that it's one part of your brain that says something that isn't true, and you're stronger than it, even if it doesn't seem that way.
Yeah,
and that hurts me to realize.
I will say this too, and not to delegitimize it for everybody, but it is true that men do kill themselves at a much higher rate than women. And
and a lot of it is a lot of it, unfortunately, is there's just a lot of negativity
Yeah.
on social media and just across the board when it comes to dating, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to self confidence. It has been, people unfortunately, I've been guilty of this, especially recently. Algorithms kind of preaching the wrong viewpoint on things.
Yeah.
And it bothers me a lot. It bothers me a lot. It hurts. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm in a lot of pain to see that as someone who goes through it every day, but tries to kind of put themselves in a position where it's like, okay, just get to tomorrow. One thing I'll say, I'm watching a lot of mental health, so like suicidal, like just general content about how to get better and stuff. And I'll say this because I heard this from, I forgot his name, so I apologize. One of the British people that I listened to about this. Um, he said you can always do it tomorrow. I know it sounds like the most counterintuitive thing, but you can always wake up tomorrow and you can say that every day, and then things are gonna get better.
Yeah.
As hard as it is, but there's a lot of strain. There's a lot of strain, and I feel the strain. I think we all feel a lot of strain with what's happening globally. And so I understand how it can feel overwhelming, but it does hurt to see that. I think that's kind of the best way I can put it. Other news things that we missed. Shams Charania reported Knicks center Mitchell Robinson has suffered a broken right pinky finger, and there's no timetable for his return. So maybe we see him in game 3, I would think. And then NFL cutdown day got moved. It's normally the following Tuesday. It got moved up to Sunday, August 30th. So kind of interesting. They moved up the cut to basically right at that end of the week of preseason week 3, pretty much. So we'll see how that affects players and how that affects decision making. That's a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
For these guys, but of course we're a long way away from that.
Wait,
So we'll see.
Real quick, did Shams announce that today? What the Mitchell
Yeah,
Robinson
that was
thing?
2 hours ago. 2 hours ago,
Oh,
Shams
yeah,
Charania.
because I almost felt like giving misleading information because I didn't know that he broke his
He
pinky.
broke that 2 hours ago. Now, no timetable
Yeah,
for return means he comes back game 1 or he comes back game 3. But the next he's gotten, I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say with a broken pinky, I'm assuming game 3. I'm not gonna say game 1.
yeah, game 1 or game 2.
Which would be disastrous because if whoever makes out of this series, that's a big loss for the Knicks for if he's out till game 3. It's a big loss.
It's big.
Massive.
Are you excited for a game 6 if we get game 6 Knicks and I think it's like a French game at MetLife at the same time? It's gonna be at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that. Please, God, no.
You're not gonna be able to leave your house on that Saturday.
No, I won't.
Or
No,
Friday.
and honestly, the whole World Cup, I won't be able to leave my house. So
I really want to know. I really want to know that first week when you have matches, how long it takes you to get to work.
oh my God, a freaking 5-minute drive will take me 15. It'd be stupid.
Oh
I
my
can't,
God.
man. I'm not excited for it. I'm really not.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna be even in an even worse mood if Portugal doesn't even. I mean, they will make past the group stage, but let's say they don't, and I have to suffer through the rest of the World Cup. Oh my God. Oh my God.
I mean, you are gonna make it through. I would presume, but we'll see.
Yeah, but like, or if we get knocked out like early, like I expect us with how good Portugal is and how them being one of the most dominant countries in this tournament, I expect them to at least get to the the round of 16, or I expect it to at least, or you know what? Not even that. Screw it. Give me semifinals. Just get to the semis, please. Get there. Get
Have your
there.
whole entire world explode. I'll say this though: if you need every team in this World Cup who needs to be competitive needs to go for that number one. Because we looked at the teams who might be going out from the 3 side. Oh my god, you need a 1. He's getting matched up with a 3. Oh my god, even a low 2, you're pretty good. Anyway, well, I think that's all we have. Thank you for spending 2 hours and 30 minutes with us. How long did you go yesterday? Did you go about like 2 hours or so?
It was about 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but it was about 2.
We're about to turn Scoop Show sideways when the World Cup starts.
Yeah, I know.
He's gonna be confused as all hell.
Hey, there's my boys, T-Mac, VC, and Mello. Love it.
With Maria Taylor. I like that they're actually at the arena, thank God. And then inside the NBA, it's like, no, I'll just stay in Atlanta. Okay. We'll see you inside the NBA during the finals. Please no Stephen A. I know Stephen A is gonna be there, but don't give him the mic, please. I'd rather not. He's funny, but I don't want it. All right, well, enjoy the second half. I think we're doing FH this week. I don't know, man. I'm so ill. I think everyone's schedules is kind of screwed up that we'll probably just do next week. Because
up to you. Actually, I just realized. I just realized I can't do Sunday now because of the wrestling thing. So
so it's gonna be next week. That's fine. We're in the off season. We're in OTAs. We're not stressing, man. We really aren't. There's nothing like what we're gonna do. We're gonna do Shane's the whiteboard segment, and that's basically our summer, I guess. Well, and then once we hit July, we're gonna do division previews. But that's gonna take like a month. Like all that's really left is Shane's whiteboard, and then the previews in July, and then we're done.
Yeah.
So really, because there's not what we're gonna talk about the Jackson Dart thing for like an hour. No thanks. We did it for like 15. Yeah. So it's whatever. But yeah, man. Thanks for allowing me to be ill and do this. Thanks for Scoop allowing us to do this. Me literally dying and still finding a way to do it. Go get your Lion coffee. I just finished mine here. Code Patrick10, hawaiicoffeecompany.com/coffee for the coffee stuff. It's amazing. Okay, go get your coffee. Go enjoy it. Patrick's been sending me a ton of super funny golf videos. I've never been more entertained by golf in my life. So props to Patrick. Sorry I haven't been able to get back to you as quick as I've been able to because, again, I've been ill and busy as heck. But, yeah, man. We'll see you next week. We'll do Champions League final. We'll do some Clash in Italy stuff, probably some baseball stuff. We'll see how the NBA finals go, Stanley Cup finals goes. We'll probably just run through all of that next week. But we'll see you then. Thank you to Brandon. Thank you to Scoop for allowing us to run through today, and Kenny and the whole crew. And we'll see you next week. Hopefully with me being at least at a 90% clip instead of 65. But we'll see how we go. Thank you again. Peace.
Peace, everybody.